last we left off, as the group had found themselves saved by an enigmatic individual who brought them to a library, and in return for their aid in doing a job for him, he tasked them with finding an individual who's part of the library, works there, who disappeared. While looking around at their own interests, Bora happened upon a book called The Price of Beauty that spoke to her, and in the mirror that was at the center of the page, where she once saw herself, she saw the image of the pink rose, the goddess of beauty, Dodicia, and was asked by this ephemeral image to seek someone out and they could help them. That could help the group. After gathering everybody and walking through a portal that led to a wooded road, uh, lined on either side with stone irises, the group made their way to the Temple of the Lustrous Iris, in which they all met some of the owners and relaxed a bit, had some moments with each other, uh, before doing their own thing, at which point Leah decided breaking and entering was her norm now and jumped through the window of what seemed to be a long abandoned temple.
Not really jumped through, more crashed.
Crashed through. Eventually, bringing the others invisibly while they were in various states of semi full or non nudity.
Yeah, aren't most of us naked?
Most of you are, in
most
fact.
Most of us are.
Yeah. Yes. In one way or another, most of you have no sense of protection on yourselves other than your bare bodies and maybe like a towel.
Good for two
And
of
sets.
us.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. I believe that Henna might be the only one that has clothes on.
Enoch has
I got
clothes.
dressed.
He had to do his...
Right, Enoch also has clothes. So Enoch and Henna. Bora, maybe. I know that she was in the room with Henna, but I can't remember if he ever stated that she changed. And I don't think... I can't remember if Lee ever changed or not. But I do know that Orin, Azazel, and Sir Dilf were dragged from the
And
the
Kyler.
pool. Yeah, and Kyler were dragged from the pool. So at least Azazel and Sir Dilf and I assume Orin have a towel covering them. Kyler's fully in the buff, while I still don't know about Bora, and Enoch is off somewhere, having committed a long-standing triple murder without anybody realizing, even himself.
That
At
is
least
still the
one
best.
of them was the witch. At least one of them was a witch.
That you believe one of them is a witch.
Fake.
You
Enoch
just
doesn't know that, so if this goes on long enough, Enoch the detective will be searching for the murderer.
God. The biggest plot twist. The murderer was me. And then walks away, just, I guess that's done.
I would like to know what a plot twist is.
A plot twist is someone who creates plots.
Plotist.
Yeah.
Come on, it's
In other words,
like
Enoch.
a plotist.
Mm-hmm. It's like flautist or artist, but yeah. But while that was happening, the group made their way into the temple after launching a statue into the sky, and Leah copying
I still
down.
never got an answer on if that is a normal thing in this world.
You don't. Would Orin know that? Is he arcanely inclined? Was he studious in the arcane arts, or was he a random herbalist in a small town that basically got rail fucked by the first people he met outside of it?
Well, let's ask this. Orin, is this the strangest thing that's happened to you since you've left your home?
Yeah.
No?
There you
I
go.
also
That is
want to add
perfectly
on to
normal.
the fact, the first time you met us was Bora scaring the shit out of you.
Yes, her crawling
Yeah,
on the
no.
ceiling like...
I'm fully aware that this is not the weirdest thing he's seen with y'all.
Mm.
My question is, are rocket-powered things normal in this world?
There was no rocket, you didn't see any engineering to it, you just saw gouts of flame and it launched through the ceiling, or whatever was left of it, and then went off into the sky, sort of like Team Rocket, then sort of crashed somewhere else, you heard?
Okay.
Goddess just
That
had bad
is-
guess.
No. What are those fucking things called from Tremors? The ass blasters? It turned into an ass blaster.
Clearly.
I
So,
have no idea what that is, but I'm so sad
You
that I don't know.
blaspheme.
either way.
Yeah, I do that every day, so what?
Either way, the group deciding to make their way down to the lower level went down there and was greeted by an odd sight of a semi-glowing pool and a large serpentine slithering like body made of pure water speaking to them, asking if they were friend or foe, and giving them the slight story of the other individual that was trapped down here. A woman who seems to have snakes on her head that look about and seem to be someone that Bora believes is related to the book in some manner. Speaking about witches and a deal, some kind of painting. Clearly speaking on Enoch's painting that they've never seen. The group heard noises coming from up the stairs before having the ingenious idea of turning them, most of themselves, into stone, or at least appear that way, while all the Genasi hid in water and became one with the water, even the ones that are not water.
We did.
Through the smell of a raw steak, and some lackadaisical uncaringness from a butler, the group managed to get away without being seen. As they all went up the stairs, and after a few minutes later, the group, everybody that is not named Enoch feels safer. At least it doesn't seem that they're around in the immediate vicinity at the moment. Enoch is currently still hawking his wares in the lounge to any who may pass by. There are two halflings that seem ever so slightly interested. Enoch, for your paintings, fortune telling, so on and so forth.
Those poor unfortunate souls.
In pain and need, yes they are.
Enoch will do portraits that they ask.
They ask if you are able to alter their appearance. You are able
Is
to
one
make
longing
them,
to be thinner?
One wants
if
to
you
be
are
different.
able to make them appear not as they normally are with your paintings and shape it into reality.
Sir, if you'd be ever so kind, your paintings, we heard them far and wide. We've heard of you, Sir Enoch, of the Gilded Brush.
Buttering up, it works for Enoch. Oh, friends. I'm afraid I can't immediately change your beings. I can only depict what your future will be. May that be a different person, or the same.
Then what may we do to see these futures? To see what comes next?
Take a seat. Told Enoch do a portraits. What shows up in the portraits shall be your future. I can't guarantee when. I can only guarantee why.
Yeah, these two very pale, middle-aged looking, semi-balding halflings in leather armor and a cloak, just look at you in awe, and they say,
By all means, please, draw our future and please let us see what will happen to us soon.
I don't have a bless going, and I need to keep up the bless that I did right after last round, so
Another
we're just
bless.
gonna be doing this. Normal. Where is my... I have like 18 D&D Beyonds open, and I can't tell which one's Enoch.
None of them.
I've been working on my one-shot, so I have a lot of monster shit open.
No, I figured. You do have like apparently a horde mode version of undead going at them. So yeah.
Yeah, I've got like 25 different undead types.
You're just basically just throwing them into like Left 4 Dead or Back 4 Blood.
Exactly. It's just a meat grinder. So it's okay, I found it. The good news is I just
You took the idea for that. I really do hope you took my idea for the scroll of unleashed chaos.
That'd be funny. Just out of nowhere, it's like a summoning spell. Summoning
Oh, I am
Basically,
throwing
it
in
just
the
summons
scroll of
all
Enoch.
of the party.
Yeah.
I can't do the whole party just because nobody would get it.
Yeah. But the
They
Enoch
get
one.
Enoch because I play Enoch in another campaign. They wouldn't get any of the other characters, so it seems like a bit of a waste in that case. Let's see. I'm doing.
Yeah. Enoch, what are you drawing for these two clearly worthy halflings of your artistic skills?
They didn't give me anything to work with, so Enoch's gonna go with how he thinks they want to appear.
Sure, yeah. This
Probably,
is artist choice.
Probably in that case, like super tall, long limbs, but I'm not talking like proportionally tall. I'm talking like Enoch, legs extended tall, but like rail thin bones. Normal, like halfling-esque torso, but like super long arms as well to go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Roll that D100 and see what your result is.
So we're gonna Tides of Chaos to see if we can get lower.
Okay, 25. Good start.
Okay, yeah. 25 for the first.
77, okay. So
And
25.
89 for the second.
No, it was
They-
77. The 89 came after. Alright. So 25. Are you using anything to attempt to lower it or no?
I don't have anything to lower it right now.
But Leah can subtract 15 from it. Nope, and it seems Leah is actually stoned now. Completely muted and dead to the world.
And she might need that in their situation.
Fair enough. So yeah, with that 25, it's looking good. It doesn't have, it's not a masterpiece, but it's still acceptable. It's good. It makes you proud of the artistic crafts that you create.
It's just kind of hold his chin. Oh, there we go. Well, I'm sorry it's not my best work, but it's not bad. That'll be 10 gold.
They look towards it, and they look back towards each other. What does this mean, sir? Oh, great, one of the gilded brush.
Oh, that's not for me to say. I only draw the future. I can't see it.
Wait, what? No. We were told you can, know the future. You can tell us, right? You're portent.
Important. Oh, Enoch's not that important.
And you see a look of absolute heartbreaking realization come upon their faces. And they start weeping, clearly at the greatness of your artistic work. They are so glad to have this masterpiece gifted from you to them.
Oh, of course.
As you know, have terrified 2 people, condemned 3 to death, and made 2 cry.
I mean, this is basically just a day in the life of Enoch.
Yeah, pretty much. Whenever he's not with the group, it's basically around this level.
This is just what happened before he joined the group, just everywhere he went.
Yeah. So yeah, back to the others. What are you all doing? Is whatever Enoch is attempting is currently happening?
Bora is going to motion to the 2 other Ganassi, like, hey, it's clear, let's get out of the water. And she steps up and starts making sure everyone is okay first.
All right.
I guess Kyler will slowly drag his naked self out of the water.
Sure. Completely in the nude, Kyler, you drag yourself out of the water in your full bluish green splendor.
Is that laggy towel still following him or no?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunate.
No, what's happening is that one of the like watery tendrils of the sea creature, like the aquatic creature, as it emerges as well, is just sort of in front of him as you guys all climb out of the pool and like face it. And color.
It's like a shimmery sensor bar.
Pretty much. It's like a shimmery, watery sensor bar that's just moving every once in a while, weirdly enough, in the same manner that Kyler does.
Amazing.
But, after making sure everyone is okay, Bora's gonna keep her eyes closed as she turns and looks towards Silvari. And in Elvish, she's going to ask, Silvari, are you absolutely sure that destroying that painting of you is going to reverse what they did to you?
Yes, I when I first met them, they were bickering about something, about their work. They offered me many things, and they said they just needed to paint me to have my wishes come true. While they were bickering, I heard mention of if the work was ever destroyed, then the deal would be broken off. The curse would be lifted. And she's just sort of facing away towards the wall right now.
I mean, Bora's got her eyes closed, she can't tell. So, she's going to turn back towards the group and open her eyes again and say, okay, I have a plan, but first, some of us need clothing in the first place. I need to get in something
Nice.
that's dry, and we need Henna to be performing. And she, points at Henna as she says,
This is true. I have to go back and perform.
so for now, let's all go back to our rooms, and let's just have a little meet-up before Henna has to go out. So that way I can explain it all.
Sounds good to me.
I suppose that can be a fair arrangement.
While I perform, you guys probably could do some investigating.
Oh, that's the plan. I already have some dirt on one of the witches, so I plan to use that to my full extent.
Interesting.
All
right.
Which one are you speaking of?
I believe she said her name was Reese. She had red hair. She stays in the garden.
No. Do not confront that one.
Why not?
Out of all
three of them, she is the one that... I hear whispers sometimes coming from the... outside, the world above, and... she is the one that is most prone to inflicting physical abuse, physical violence.
She kind of gets a look across her face, but says, I can deal with that. It won't be the first time. And she's going to look back at the party and say, again, let's just meet up before Henna's session, and I'll let you know all of your parts. And she's gonna kind of try her best to let Solar know she's bowing towards her before she starts trying to walk out.
Alright, as you announce that you bow to her.
Yeah. Basically like a bye. Very awkward.
Alright.
She starts.
Before you all leave, I have to ask, in which favors the war swaying?
In which
War?
favors the wars? Oh, I see.
The war's been over.
What do you mean?
The war ended 10 years ago.
You just sort of see from the back of her that she just sort of like puts her hands up to her mouth and she, like in a sort of gasp fashion, and she's like, I've been here for so long. But before I was here, no, Rami, she just says, thank you for telling me. Please, if you can, go destroy it. She just sort of like, you start to hear light sobbing.
Yeah, let's go fix this.
So all of you exit the basement building area, and what do? You lower level?
Bora goes back to the room by jumping through their window. She left it unlocked.
Alright, what about the rest of you?
I will do the same thing, because... Yes.
Obviously, Kyler is going to Kool-Aid Man through his bedroom window.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'll say anybody who wants to do this stealthily roll a stealth check, otherwise you're just sort of walking around nearly naked for most of you, just walking through windows.
Walking.
Oh, Leah.
You can also feel free to move your tokens as you see fit. I will just have to get rid of this entire layer.
I am looking at the map.
Yeah, we're on the map.
Yeah,
Hey, right. Forgot
That's the map.
to drag your lazy asses back. Are you telling me that you guys can't switch maps at will?
No, we can't.
These
Oh,
are
it's so
We will attempt to be conspicuous.
Do you mean inconspicuous? In Leah's case, she
No.
just sort of action dives through the window yet again. There is crashing
Just has no
and
fucks to give.
there is crashing and blood, and yeah, it is definitely noticeable. Kyler, you successfully Kool-Aid Man through your window and wall.
Oh yeah!
It takes a little bit of help on Sir Dilf's part, sort of just weakening the frame around the window, but you successfully make your point.
Wait. Let me see if I can get this done right with the accent. Oh yeah.
All right. Bora and Henna, you believe you are stealthy, or at least more stealthy than some of your companions who went in before you, who sort of just broke down parts of the wall. Literally, there are two rooms that you get. There are two rooms. There are two rooms you all have, and both of them have successfully been broken into.
One through the window, one through the wall.
I was gonna say anything by comparison at this point is stealthy. So yeah, probably like a few seconds after you both like near simultaneously on either side of the building dive through your selective windows. You hear footsteps coming to your room, and some of the workers, like some of the maids here, just say, "Is everything okay?" And they see the broken window, the blood, the crashing, and they're like, "What happened?"
That's Enoch the most inconspicuous one here.
Really weird.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, really.
One of us was raised by an eldritch horror.
And one of you is an
We
eldritch
don't know
horror.
that.
It's like Enoch is an eldritch horror.
Yeah. One of us was raised by an eldritch horror. One of you is.
And he's the inconspicuous one.
Yeah.
I said I love my mom, not that she taught me good life lessons.
Uh-huh.
Full on, Kyler's just gonna start gibbering in deep speech.
Rune, did you take a... Okay, you did take control. I was moving my thing, and then it just moved out of my hand. I was like, what the hell is happening?
Fuck your self-control. Let the face decide where you land.
I thought I glitched out for a second. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Conversely, Oren's just gonna go back through the tub and make his way to the room like nothing is wrong.
Sure, you go through the actual door you initially entered from, and got through instead of diving through windows like burglars, like a thief in the night, for seemingly no apparent reason.
No apparent reason.
Plenty of reason. Because I can.
I was influenced by everyone else doing it.
Peer pressure, that's your
Jump
excuse?
off a cliff. Would you follow them?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Are you
that.
kidding me, Mom? I'm leading them.
The reason Leah did it is she saw Bora and Hedda, and then she like yelled, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" and then followed. This is why she's not stealthy.
She ran ahead and broke in first. And we were just like,
Alright,
yeah.
so, Kyler, you speak in deep speech. Roll me an intimidation check.
Okay.
You know, saying that, Oren's just gonna wait outside.
Sure, you can move your token where you think Orin would be.
Yeah, I already did. He's down by the room.
Okay.
This is the right room, right?
Hold on, he's just trying to put off the insane person barely controlled by his group. Just like his sanity is gone.
Alright, Tyler, you do that, and the very poorly looking kind woman responds with walking out of the room without blinking or doing anything. Doesn't have any look of fear in her eyes. Just sort of walks out.
For our end, I'm just gonna look at the maid and go, Leah fell. Can we get like first aid and maybe clean up the glass?
Roll a persuasion check, since that's not technically wrong.
Leah's just about to do prestidigitation as Hannah speaks, but then she's like, "Oh, okay." Like,
Yeah,
oh, wait.
she's like, you see like little magic sparks appear in her hand, then she just like closes and hands behind her back.
to youth group.
Can we not go one in without causing major property damage?
Apparently not.
Can you not go through one inn without half of the population of that inn being murdered?
It's an even better question.
So far, we
Two
haven't
down
committed
so far.
murder.
3
We
down.
haven't killed.
Oh no, I never said murdered by you guys. I just said murdered.
True. Okay.
The act of murder does not necessarily have to come from you guys for you to be there and for it to happen.
It is not Enoch's fault that he blessed people if they died as a result.
Yeah, somehow Enoch's been the tame one. Even like his most wild thing wasn't even on a purpose. It was literally just accidentally, whoops, I guess I did a triple homicide.
I just want to solve this whole quest without ever knowing there was a quest. That's
Yeah,
my
I was gonna
goal.
say at this point Enoch might actually go through with it. Like that's the wild thing about it.
Roll
Alright.
wild magic surge. The building next to this one explodes.
The entire temple.
I'm just straight up amused by Enoch, the epitome of chaos, is actually trying to do something nice for most people. And oops, I got a triple homicide. All of the rest of the party is just unadulterated chaos. And it's not even hurting anybody but ourselves. Two of us literally broke through walls and windows.
Yeah. I was gonna say for Kyler and Leah, you both took like 1 point of damage.
Amazing.
Why is Vari with us?
What was that?
Hope you'll pull of the dead later.
Vari's in the hallway.
You can move your tokens. You're free to.
No, like Silvari's
The
token.
Silvari token is in the hallway.
Oh, is it?
Hazel.
I'm zoomed out. I'm zoomed out so far that I can't even tell who's who at this point.
I mean, we could just weaponize her at this point. Just carry her around.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was for some reason I thought that was Orin the entire time. That was Orin's token.
Doran's down here.
Orin, you are suddenly a Medusa.
Apparently. Orin, you are now female and a Medusa. Congratulations.
Orin's secret
You'll make
is
eye
that
contact
he's a
with
body
all of
snatcher.
the men you like.
Yeah.
Oran's secret is
Um.
what? Magna?
Magna? What? Magna cum laude?
I didn't hear what Magnus said.
Oh.
I said Orin's secret is that he's a body snatcher.
Oh.
And it still feeds into the narrative that
I mean-
he's secretly Enoch but younger.
Not completely wrong. Yeah, that's the underlying narrative of the entire campaign is just that Orin is actually Enoch and we're waiting for the surprise twist. That was seen like
Oh my
years.
God, it's the emotion Lord and Chris from Bravest Warriors all over again.
Mhm.
As Enoch, I'm just trying to push him there slowly. First, we have to get that wild magic surge thing up. Okay, you gotta
Yes.
take that type of chaos. I'll get you there. Don't worry.
Mhm. All right. So, what are you all doing in your respective rooms as help, like bandages and help is brought to you, Leah. Nothing is brought to your room, or Orin and Kyler.
Hmm?
I said nothing is brought to your room, Orin and Kyler.
Nothing.
Can I do like a perception or insight check on this fucking nurse or like maid or thing?
In what capacity? What are you trying to gauge?
I saw she's touching me and she's like wrapping my wounds and shit. So I want to know if like what she's doing is actually going to cause me more harm or if it's like actual help.
Sure, roll in insight for hostile intentions.
I feel like the work.
It sure is strange that she's dressing my wounds with knives.
Yeah, it's crazy how she's using acid as a curative solvent.
I didn't know acid could heal.
Tyler, stop breaking into the neighbor's bedroom.
I want to unlock the map.
Is she just shoving salt in the open wounds?
With your insight, Leah, it seems she's actually treating your wounds. It seems like it's a normal bandage.
I also want to do that because I'd be hyper vigilant of whatever's happening to Leah.
Sure, also roll an insight. Bora, do you also want to roll one in case you're also hyper paranoid
No,
for Leah's sake?
Laura,
I already
Laura
know.
actually got changed in the short time, so she's back in her sundress, and she's back to working on the letter.
Sure.
I'll go into further detail after this.
All right. Henna. This bitch sketch as fuck.
Can I like go over and be like, I'll finish. You can leave. Thanks.
Alright, but ask if you need any help. We'll have someone come to repair the wall window.
Windows for our room, yes.
Yeah. We'll have somebody repair it
On her
soon.
way out, like, thank you.
Oh no, Kyler broke through the wall. They just broke through the window.
Yeah. So yeah, they said they'll bring someone to repair the window. As she's opening the door and walking out, you notice the red-headed woman with the butler walking down the hall. Bora, Henna, and Leah.
Is my leg done being wrapped?
Your arm and leg, yeah, they're. I assume Henna's just finishing up wrapping your arm and leg.
Okay, then I'm gonna kind of grab Hannah and then like pop. You know that thing where it's like people pop their head out the window and then just watch you? Can I do that like stealthily or something?
Yes, let us attempt another stealth roll. That's gonna be
Sure. Henna
Do it.
Straight up.
Henna and Leah, roll a stealth check. Kyler, no, not many animals to tame, and if you tried, they might just be unnerved by your eldritch nature.
fucking invisible.
What the?
Just wanted to know how the weather was. How's it?
Yes. Okay, so you both peek your head out the door frame, staring, as they don't seem to have noticed you. Not even the maid down the hall who's just sweeping. Not even Bora, who's in the same room.
Can I just sneak after her if she goes around the corner? I want to know what's going on.
Yes.
Or
The
over to her.
the butler and
That will follow.
the butler and the redheaded woman are both making their way down the hall, seemingly to the guy's room.
We're gonna get kicked out, aren't we?
Yeah, can we follow her with that 21 or do we need to roll again?
No, you can continue with that stealth check. It's still
Okay.
within the same instance.
No one may see me.
Yeah, weirdly enough, Leah, you can't even find Henna. You thought she was with you, but she's not.
Are we not holding on to each other?
No, you thought you were, but you don't. Henna, you're currently clung onto the ceiling like arms and legs on either side of the walls, just skittering about, watching.
We're
You took.
channeling the Spider Queen.
Yeah, you.
I am one with this building.
You thought it would. You thought it might.
All she's holding is a piece
Yeah.
of wood now.
You thought, yeah, you thought it might be a good idea to stick with Leo, but then you thought no, splitting up only slightly, but still being within eyesight in case they try and go for Leah. You know the most tactical move, but you don't want to surprise Leah or upset her, so you replace where your hand was with a wooden log, like a substitution jutsu style.
Leah doesn't notice that.
Plank from Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah.
This is
Leah
literally
doesn't
the
notice
best
that.
thing
She's
I've
still
done.
holding the plank.
Yeah, you're still holding the plank. You're just like, oh yeah, you don't feel the normal like tug of like Hannah's elbows. You're like, okay, yeah, she's been cooperative, and you're just like sneaking, and you're just like, okay, we gotta be stealthy, and you're just like crouched low. Hannah's just like on the ceiling, just looking down, just like stretching her arms and legs as far as her minuscule frame can allow to stick up there.
This is the best thing I've ever done.
Why are we like this?
Because it's
I'm sure.
fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, I'll be back in a moment. I'll give you guys a chance to emotionally and mentally prepare for whatever's about to happen, or just prepare how you're going to drop down Assassin's Creed assassinate them, Hannah.
Yes. I mean, it depends on what she says next.
True.
This just confirms to Hannah that she's the stealthiest person alive.
Indeed.
That she is an actual ninja.
I just
Please
wanna believe-
somebody remind me this session to do a fucking identify on that stupid thing I picked up in the spiders thing.
Okay.
I been meaning to do that.
Identify on that stupid thing you picked up in the spider's thing.
Yes, I've been meaning to do that for sessions now, and I keep forgetting. It's been in my notes 4 times.
Oh no.
What did you pick up?
Some like portrait or something.
Oh, you could just ask Enoch. He can make you a new one.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, Enoch, take this thing that I picked up in this like magical face shit. Come touch this.
That sounds like something Leo would definitely do.
Mm. Why do you have a higher stealth than me?
What's it called? Because of Jack of all trades.
Um,
That and a higher
Yeah.
dexterity.
Remember, bards are basically good at everything to a small extent.
Indeed.
And then there are certain things that they're
You're
very
also-
good at, then there's other things that they're very, very good at. Alright, so, yes, the two individuals make their way towards Guy's room, and Kyler, and Orin and Azazel, you all hear a knock from the door.
Finishes getting
I'll
dressed. Waits for us. Waits for everyone to finish getting their Wait, are we dressed yet? Are you?
Azazel, by this point, has dressed up. I don't know about Orin, and I don't know about Kyler.
Kyler wouldn't take too long getting dressed.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, he's back in his white robes, has his hood thrown back over his head.
I return.
Alright.
Blood stains on the white cloak.
Okay.
No, I didn't get cut up. I just got my face bashed in a little bit.
Yeah, so...
I'm a little bruised under it.
Yeah.
That's a little bruise.
Remember, he Kool-Aid manned through the door, buck naked, and then started speaking in deep speech.
Yeah.
They probably think he's possessed.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you hear another knock on the door.
Yeah. Okay. So, come in. I guess.
All right. As you open the door, you see the fiery red-headed wood elven woman who you saw in the basement before, and she says, "We have gotten a report that you may not be very well, sir." They look towards Kyler. "It seems you have been wounded and you've inflicted a wound to yourself, and you were naked, babbling in a strange tongue. For the safety of the other patrons, we're going to have to ask you to come with us."
Enoch wasn't the first person carried away to a padded room.
I'm not allowed to talk to myself.
Because the problem is
my
because...
native tongue.
Sorry, what was that?
I can't speak in my native tongue. I can't vent to myself about how I miss my mother.
What did I miss?
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Why at the disadvantage?
What did I miss? I got cut off after a red-head woman you saw in the base.
Okay.
Oh, they're gonna
Yeah, I am,
start
but-
Kyler
No, no,
because he was deep speech and like busted through the wall.
Babbling at the maiden.
Oh, someone disappeared?
Yeah, Orin just completely died.
Yeah.
So why at the disadvantage?
You're asking why the disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
Think about the situation that just happened. Think about what language you were speaking in, and the fact that you're still bloody and wounded underneath your clothes.
She thinks you're insane, bruh. That's why.
Also, in the middle of a continent, you're not near the sea, and you're not near anywhere that I don't think has mind flayers.
That you don't think everybody here has a mind flare that's just using disguise self.
There's a mind flare
Okay,
next
that's a
door.
20.
Rude. Flips the book.
How about you go fuck yourself, huh? Have you thought of that?
I'm not even holding Cthulhu. I'm not holding my plushie.
Alright, if that is the case, then we just want to monitor you for just a few hours, we'll say 4, and if you do not exhibit any strange behaviors and do not seem erratic or a danger to yourself or to the other patrons, then you are free to go back and we will compensate you justly. Alright?
I can accept that term. How would you be compensating me? Would that be in gold or magic items?
What are you talking about? How we will be compensating you is giving you some of our premium services for a much discounted price.
That doesn't sound too much like compensating me for the inconvenience. That sounds more like incentivizing you to get me to spend my gold.
So, we do not have gold to throw away at a man who presents to be very mentally unwell. And we do not have magic items and would not even be giving them away as compensation for whatever you're claiming. We have to do this for the safety of all the patrons. Now you can either come with us or you are free to leave the establishment.
Enoch's over in the other room getting free drinks from her sister.
Can I make my presence known frighteningly close behind this woman?
Sure. As you sneak up, sorry, who was saying that? Henna or Leah?
What's up?
That's
Henna.
Henna. Okay, yeah. So Henna, you just sort of like drop down right next to Leah, like almost a pseudo feather fall, just without a sound or board creaking, and then you just sort of get up right next to her, and then she just feels your breath on the back of her neck before anything else, and she just jumps and she just sees you and says,
I'm just gonna like look her dead in the eyes and go, I don't think that's necessary. I mean, you wouldn't want it known that you're being speciesist against someone else, right? Someone of a different species, because obviously he's just doing what is in his culture.
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Can I give her like help or something in like a sense? Oh, never mind. She does. Well, I was gonna say, can I give her help by like in Elvish being like, you know, we our type wouldn't want to seem like they're discriminating.
I would also like to point out that the only reason I have primordial is my background and not my race. My race languages are common and deep speech.
Yeah. So the woman looks at you and she says, "You do understand that I'm also an elf, correct?"
Well, is she telling me that?
Yes, she's looking to all of you because you've now literally surrounded her like creepy stalkers. You've now all surrounded her and are berating her, calling her racist, or saying that.
I'm just trying to get Kyler out of the situation.
I know. Henna, with your roll, the woman says, "This is not a species thing. This is a safety matter."
I mean, obviously accidents have been happened, but that doesn't mean that you should behave in such a way. You've run an inn. You should know better than this.
We do. And we also take
targeting me because I'm a Ganassi?
Exactly. How could you do that? This is horrifying behavior.
I'd just like to interject and have Orin just walk out shaking his head.
Yeah. Orin just walks out of the room just completely shaking his head like, I'm done. I don't care anymore.
This could actually help us, though. Because unless she can understand that he's doing that because he's done with his friends and their chaos, it would seem like he's done with her targeting Tyler for being a Ganassi.
As Orin walks away, I'm just going to point and say, look, you're already horrifying other patrons. How could you behave like this? This is just disgusting. I'm ashamed to be the same species as you.
Jeez.
Leah turns to Henna at that point and kind of just like looks at her like, "Wow, okay, we're taking it this far."
Yeah, I was gonna say, Leah's just like, yeah. I want to imagine that Leah was hypermanning Henna.
At what point did they
No,
just drop it?
I was gonna say, I want to imagine that Leah was hypermanning Henna the entire time. Like, yeah. Wait, what? Whoa! What did you say? I just need clarification here, buddy. We're on the same page, but like you know, maybe dial it back like a few notches.
Enoch's being suave in the lobby while everyone else is going full Karen over here.
Yeah, pretty much. You guys hear like a thudding sound coming from over here, like from one of the doors, as it seemed something was chucked there, and the woman says,
Quiet down.
"If you believe this is a matter of discrimination, then it seems that we have not been as inclusive as we have aimed to be. But that does not change the fact that your friend will either have to come with us willingly, or we're going to have to ask him to leave."
But he's not going to
I
go
never
alone.
said that I wouldn't go with you willingly. You just said that you would compensate me after 4 hours for the inconvenience of having to be watched. And I wanted to know if that was going to be in gold or in magic items.
The
And
answer
then you
is
tried to lowball me with a
It's
discount on your services.
a very generous discount. Our services run pretty high, and they are very sought after. Many people come here for the healing properties that we can procure for people and how we can change lives.
Hannah, darling, what is half off of free? Since you are paying for our services with your efforts
I-
and your entertainment.
The butler pipes in at this point and says, "I believe you are misunderstanding. Your friend is getting the stay for all of you for free, for the 2 rooms, not the services."
Unless you can somehow manage to manifest my mother here, there's nothing you can offer me that I want.
Okay. Leah's gonna step in at that point and be like, "All right, he's not gonna go alone because we've already seen what like the services you people have to offer here. So he will go, but he will not go alone to just sit in a room and be observed like some type of zoo animal."
He's not going
I like how
to...
she's gone from thinking I'm a mass murderer to she's on my side.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wow, like, she's literally like, oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, this lady's literally like, yeah, this man is crazy, he's a danger to people, and Leah's like, I mean, I know that, but I don't want him to be treated as such.
Well, true, but also
You know
Henna
versus
defended him, so
even
she's
you
just
don't.
kind of like, well, Henna wants this, so I suppose I'll help.
You're misunderstanding. We are not going to be prodding or poking him. We're not going to be putting him in a glass cage. We're just going to take him to a room. He can take his stuff. We'll give him a book if you'd like to read. We have a selection. And so long as you do not exhibit any behaviors that are odd or cause anything that's quite disturbing or harm yourself, then it will end, and that is that.
I've understood what you said exactly. I'm saying that putting him in a room and watching him is not going to happen when he's alone. So, one of us will go with you.
That is not amicable, and that is not required. Since
Can you
this is-
explain why it's not amicable? Why is it not amicable that we go with you? Where is he going that we cannot go?
You are very much welcome to come with us to where we're taking him, but you cannot be in the same room with him. Nobody will be in the room with him.
Why are you reading into my words?
No. Nobody will be in the room with him. That is the entire point of it. He is just
I
supposed to
never
be
said
left
I
alone.
had to be in the room. Why did you think I wanted to be in the room?
You said you... I assume that when
On
you
top of
mentioned
that,
that...
obviously we travel together. We've been traveling with him. What would make you think that we wouldn't be safe?
I do not know your history with this
Obviously, we know
individual.
him.
I do not know your history with this individual, but if you'd like, you are willing... Sorry, if you'd like, you are more than welcome to come to the same location, but you may not go to the room with him, and that is that. Are you coming. So he looks to you, Color.
Well, as I said, the compensation serves me no purpose.
I'm going to be honest with you, I do not care if you want the compensation or not. That is the only compensation you are getting. You can either take it or you can piss off.
Well, in order so that way my companions here can continue to have their place to stay, I will comply. But however, I will also be telling absolutely everyone that we meet that this is how you treat your Ganassi guests.
You are more than free to do so. We have we have a good enough reputation that one little complaint will not be that large a blow.
We'll see about that.
If you really feel that is the safest course to take.
I feel that you have been that you are a possible threat, that you have been semi-hostile towards my work staff and myself, and you are asking for an arm and a leg in terms of compensation. I have been
Your work
as nice
staff
as
came in
possible.
here after I stumbled, hit the wall while I was naked after my bath, and I was muttering to myself about how I missed my mother, and you are accusing me of being the hostile one? My privacy has been invaded by your work staff.
I'm going to be honest, I do not care
My
about
slightly
your...
dumb roommate.
I don't care about your Freudian relationship with your mother. Let's just go.
If you're choosing to take it as a Freudian relationship, you're
Does
completely
Freud exist in
missing the
this
part.
world? Confirmed.
From what I've seen, it has been.
The fact that I haven't been able to speak with my mother for several years has no impact upon you.
No, I really don't care, actually.
Then again, I will be sure to let everyone that I ever encounter know how you are treating a Ganassi guest because one of your workers decided to not ask for clarification and just
Then
walked
I will be
away
sure
after
that
invading
anywhere I
privacy.
go, I talk about the one Ganassi who's a grown man and can't get over his mommy issues.
You do realize that my literal job is to tell stories, right? Everywhere I go. And
Leah's
spread
like really
word.
biting the inside of her cheek, like trying not to laugh.
You do realize that.
This conversation
and
is
I'm
going...
very good at what I
She
do.
just sort of puts her finger up to your mouth, Hannah, and she says, "This conversation is going nowhere. Gather your things, come with us. Please and thank you." And then she starts walking up the hall just a little bit and waits for the rest of you.
Do I recognize this woman since she's a nature elf?
What do you mean? Do you recognize her? Like, are you asking if
Like
you've seen
in
her
a
before?
social and more familial connection. Do I
No.
recognize her?
no to both you and Hannah.
Fabulous.
What are you saying? All elves know each other?
Yeah, that's what Leah's assuming, and they're calling her racist.
Leah's player is assuming that because of something Rude and I discussed during character development.
No, I know.
We are not being speciesist here.
Unlike this lady.
Unlike this lady, in the words of Hannah. By the way, Hannah, roll me a quick perception check.
I'd just like to Orin just pop into see Bora, see what she's up to.
Sure, while that's happening. Sure, Leah, roll me a perception check.
Where's my perception? Great.
Yeah.
Both of us
Hannah, you're not even paying attention because you can't even fathom the audacity for that woman to put her finger over your lips and hush you.
I would like my entire set when I perform tonight to be about the audacity and horrifying acts these people are committing against Genasi.
Can we not?
Sure,
Kind of an in for one day.
This is gonna be my whole set.
Yeah, okay, Leah, you notice that while, the woman's leaving and, Collar is assumedly packing up his stuff to get prepared for his, 4-hour watch session. And Hannah just seems to be looking off into the distance with a sort of slightly cold glare. You notice the butler seems to just sort of look towards Henna's direction, just peering at her very like a scrutinizing way, and then just like sort of like sort of like a disgusted face, and then walks over behind the wood elfin woman with the red hair.
What's he again? What race is he?
He appears to be human.
Okay. Can I
Appears to
cast
be.
which one is minor illusion or prestidigitation the one that I can like create a sound?
I think both technically can do some kind of like auditory thing, but minor illusion, yeah, you can do definitely like a sound, a scream, a fart, or anything.
Is there any way I can do like a contained scream so that he only hears it, or is that not?
That is definitely not how that works. That'd be more of an enchantment
Then
spell.
what I want to do is I want to have
Get
somebody
Skylar to do it.
a whisper in. Oh, I want to do Enoch's voice whispered in his ear. Don't be rude to the queen, and just have that go. In
Sure.
fuck. Can I do
You know
that?
what? Roll me an Arcana check.
22.
Okay. You aim it correctly, but I'll also say roll me a D100.
D100. Wait,
Yeah.
why are you fucking me like this?
Oh, no,
That's a
she didn't
D20.
do it.
Hold on.
Leah's gonna
That's a
trigger wild
75.
magic now.
It's spreading. It is spreading.
Okay, Enoch, roll me a perception check.
Oh, fuck!
Enoch.
Okay. You guys from down the hall hear this. Enoch, you also hear this. You hear your own voice, clearly in your mind, telling you to not be rude to the queen. Everybody else, you hear, from, like, right next to the guy, remember now, don't be rude to the queen. In Enoch's voice, even you hear this, Henna, as you snap out of your stupor. And you hear Enoch's voice say that from, like, down the hall and across, like, the corner. Like, you don't see where it originated from, but you definitely hear it.
Enoch just nods his head. Oh, thank you, Jerry. I need to be reminded every once in a while.
Oh my
That
god.
man is still alive because I wasn't the one who noticed him. Anyway.
I mean, you did notice him last weekend, and you're still planning on killing him, from what I remember.
Oh yeah, he's gonna die, for sure.
Oh yeah, he's gonna die.
Peace was never an option.
I keep asking, can we not? But obviously the answer is no at any of them.
Yeah, so while that's
doesn't believe in peace.
while that's happening, back to the room as Orin just got in after, while you're just sort of like thinking about what to do next, Orin walks into the room and I assume closes the door before the insanity leaks in any more than he normally does.
He's
Laura
gonna
is
fly and look at.
writing.
Just gonna. Seeing she's busy, I just ask, are you busy?
I'm just writing a letter to my monastery. I think we might need reassurance that everyone can be taken care of, so I've marked out as best as I can what I was initially writing, and I'm about to call a bird over to send this letter to them.
Oh, okay.
She'll sit back a little and read through basically a small summary of where they are, what's going on, and asking to send 1 or 2, maybe even 3 people who are at least proficient in at least the way of mercy for healing, and then just kind of look at him. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
And she'll kind of like roll the paper up slightly, go to the window, and kind of call out an Orin for.
Sure, roll an animal handling with advantage.
A random pigeon comes by and takes it. You don't know if it was the right one.
Yeah.
Just if it was the right one.
Okay, 13. Like, gave you advantage. Alright. One one hawk sort of comes by after like swooping down and just sort of drops by and says, "Hey."
Gonna fuck that hawk.
And that's how air Cochrans were born.
She's just gonna say, hello, you happen to know about a building that's just behind the mountains over there, and she'll like point towards where her monastery is.
No.
Well, do you happen to have the time to run this letter over to a building over there? I can tell you exactly how to get to it.
What do I get in return?
I can. She'll like pull out some crackers from her rations and be like, I can give you food, I can give you water, and I can feed you again when
Immediately
you
starts going for the crackers.
She lets it, just like,
Yeah.
I have more when you get back.
That's great.
So will you take this letter to them?
Really? Tony the Digger? Really?
Now it's Harry the Hawk. Get it right. He says, "Sure. Give me a description."
She will describe the building itself, how to get there, and she will describe dough and glee and probably cabin, like 3 options for people to drop down and give them the letter.
Okay.
And just lightly hold up the letter for him. Take.
Yeah. And then just sort of flies off.
Thank you.
Oren, all you heard was like hawk screeches and like breathing.
I can understand Orin too.
Oh right, yes, you also heard it and heard
Orin
everything it
can
said.
understand Orin. Keep that in mind.
Yeah,
This
that's
was
true.
not intentionally from it.
Yeah.
Could he
But, yeah.
understand the hawk?
Yeah, he understood the hawk.
Okay. Nice.
He's just gonna look at her and be like, are all birds like that? I don't talk to many birds.
You didn't know all birds spoke Orin?
Yeah, all birds.
All
like-
birds.
Yeah. She's
All
just
birds are spies. That makes them spurs.
It depends. I grew up in Highmore, and I remember the Griffins talked really similarly. That's kind of how I knew how to go with that conversation.
I gotcha.
There are
Does
some
he
birds
though?
that speak really politely. Little sparrows are nice.
Back to the others, and away from hot bird noises.
I never said he was hot. I said that you're gonna fuck him and that he's a fuckboy.
Oh god. Yeah, so back to the rest of you and your... As the 2 elven women are staring down the butler and the wood elven woman with the red hair, and then there's just Kyler. What are you doing, Kyler?
Well, Kyler would then heft his monster hunting chest back onto his back, and he would calmly follow. He'd take all his stuff with him.
Okay. So
Little do they know he's basically walking with an explosives factory.
Breach it clear! Takes out a wall. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've got 10 torches and a few flasks of oil, holy water, steaks.
Yeah, congratulations. You're a real vampire hunter now.
Actually, yeah, that is the background, is I am basically a monster hunter.
As you were all taken, led to the hall that you used to initially leave after gathering everyone, Leah. Where is Leah's token? So I can drag her. Where did she disappear to?
Where is Leah's token? Because I don't know where she is.
You should be able to see where you are.
She,
I don't know. I was looking at something else.
I found her. She was under the thing.
Oh, I found it. Okay, good. Thank you.
Christ. As throughout half of that, Leah was crawling army style on the ground. But yeah, you're led to the hall that you left with everybody after gathering them, Leah. And one of the two doors that you passed by at the time, unaware of what is here, the red-haired woman just sort of knocks on it, and eventually coming out from the room is a drow with circular glasses that are just covering his eyes and like a bit of a smile. You know what? Let me just blow this image up, like with Kyler's bag. Just kill this person on the spot. I'll put it like here. Where's the?
What are we in the main room?
Ooh, no, I don't need, no, why did it drag all of that? I think this is... Yeah. Do you guys see this giant image of, like, a drow? Hello? ¿Por qué?
This image of what? Where?
Ah, damn it, no, that... I thought I dragged it there. You fool.
It's
There. Do you see the absolutely massive drow within the pool? And where did the token go again? We don't even dragged it, damn it.
In the pool? Wait, where? Oh, okay, I see. Come.
Why does it look like a drow version of Elton John?
Who says he's not?
How do I get there? Okay, hold on.
But yes,
Really...
you see that individual exiting the room, wearing simple whitened, pink and yellow robes.
Big boy.
He is a massive boy. But yeah.
He looks like Guy Fieri.
Huh?
He looks like Guy Fieri.
like if Elton John, Guy Fieri, and Thanos all had a child.
Oh god.
Oh,
Like,
no.
I was sitting there, it's like, it does remind me of Elton John. Who does it remind me of? Then it just hit me like, oh, it reminds me of Guy Fieri.
There's a fanfic over there somewhere.
Probably. Yes, meet fantasy Guy Fieri. He's a drow. And has Elton John sunglasses.
I mean, he could still be obsessed with food.
He could. You don't know. You never met. You don't know about this elf's life.
Yeah. You don't know how old he is. You don't know how he came to this surf's world.
Yeah. Joke's on you. He's actually a day older than Leah.
The what? Wait, pause. What?
I said jokingly, joke's on you, he's a day older than Leah.
He's a day old Leah.
A day older.
Older.
Older than Leah?
Drow Fieri is apparently a day older than Leah.
Yes, clearly canonically.
Born in the same hospital, one of those things where the parents were like, haha, maybe they'll get married when they get older.
Jesus.
Oh,
So what happens if a drow and a wood elf have a kid?
I don't know. Fucking I barely know what a drow is. This is like my first D&D game.
You would have a dark wood elf.
That could be hot.
What kind of dark oak?
I don't know. Well, clearly one part of them is edgy and the other part is druidic, so they're just an angsty botanist for their life.
You get a cottage
So like
court.
a wildfire druid?
I mean, sort of, but maybe less flame obsessed. Maybe.
Maybe.
It's straight up poison ivy. just poison ivy.
Oh yeah, that's not even wrong, honestly. Don't do it.
Y'all are why you get up in the morning.
Oh. Is this sea monster actually a part of this game, or am I just watching this form just for fucks and giggles?
What?
Maybe both?
Yes, it is absolutely.
Why not both?
Yeah.
The correct
I
answer is
Orin
yeah.
did feel something touch him in the pool.
Was that not Kyler? Oh wait, no.
No, that wasn't Kyler.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
You never
That's
figured
lovely.
out what it was, and you may never will. But yeah,
Just watching the little like toes be drawn on.
God. But yeah, so as you all get there and the drow comes out, the redheaded elven woman says, "We need to use the room to keep an eye on one of the occupants. Go make yourself useful somewhere else." And you just sort of nods and continues on after just giving you all a brief look up and down. Doesn't have a necessarily pleased look on his face, but seems to be rolling with it.
Leo looks him up and down right back.
No, he just he looked at all of you, like he wasn't like looking you up and down, sizing you up. He just sort of like looked at
I
each
know
of
what
you.
you
and-
meant.
Okay.
I feel I got it. Leo just looks up him back, up and down.
Sure, Hannah, roll insight.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 19.
Mhm.
What is Leah sort of thinking as she's gauging him up and down?
She's just like, this man is gauging me, and I'm going to gauge him. Like, it's very factual. So it's like, let's. I'm going to give him a taste of his own medicine.
Sure.
Um,
Hannah, you can sort of see that she's being a little standoffishly, like looking him up and down, like, yeah, you want to look at me, I want to look at you back. Honestly, I was
I
hoping.
mean, I'm still trying to portray all of the rage that I can possibly contain within a 5'3" frame.
Oh, I know. I never
That's
said you were hiding
radiating
anything.
from me currently.
Yeah.
I can tell you for a fact that's a lot of rage.
Oh, in reality, everybody probably sees that Henna is very, very unhappy. Like, not necessarily the blood-boiling, murderous rage, but she's probably not hiding it well enough to completely fool everybody into thinking that she's fine. Though what did cheer up Henna even a fraction of a bit was seeing that Enoch set up a stall in the main lounge area as you guys were walking past it. Enoch, while you were doing your paintings, you just saw your friends walk by with some new people.
Enoch raises a glass of his egg wine.
And as you're walking by, you see the egg wine in slow motion being raised up. Do you take a sip of the egg wine?
My mouth salivates a little, but I'm gonna pass.
not the egg wine.
All right. So, you guys get the door, and the drow leaves, and the elven woman just sort of points towards the room. Opens it up and says, "There's just a little table there. We'll bring you a book. You just stay there, and we'll check on you periodically to make sure that you haven't harmed yourself or are not well in the state you were before. Rambling in, well, you claim it was your native tongue, but if you're rambling in any other language besides that, or in an understate, then we'll know that something is wrong. You know where he is, so you are all free to go about your own business and relax, go find your other compatriots who you came here with, or anything else, really. Please just get out of my hair."
This woman is patronizing as fuck.
Sorry, what do you say?
And this woman is patronizing as fuck. Who does she think she is?
Who does she think
The
she
owner?
is? All we did was all we did was just damage the property, call her racist, make the staff think one of us was insane, jump scared her by pulling up ninja move on her, and constantly say that whatever she was giving us wasn't good enough. Who the
I'm not feeling
fuck does
bad
she
about
think
this.
she
They're
is?
certainly fucking evil. I don't feel bad about this, Rude. Don't attempt to make me feel bad. You're
Oh
evil.
yeah, no, I don't feel bad about it either.
I mean, you don't feel bad until you realize that they're not actually witches and that you were being duped by the other lady. Or you just assumed the wrong people were the witches. You don't know.
It's fine.
Is it though?
Yes.
Is it, though? Sorry, I was
Alright,
gonna say.
Lee doesn't actually care all that much about Kyler, so she's probably gonna just head back to the room.
Fair.
I'm gonna go get ready to perform now, guys.
Alright, what
I
will...
have a set to go.
Yeah, what's the inspiration for your set gonna be?
This place is awful.
Fuck coming here, go to hell.
Everybody should look out.
We're just gonna get kicked out again.
Yeah, we're gonna get kicked out.
We
Jesus.
still need to save. What's her name?
That's
This is
true.
True. Alright, I'll behave a little bit.
I mean, you don't have to save... I mean, you don't have to save her. It's not like she's compensating you in any way monetarily.
Yeah, but Bora likes her, so we have to do it.
We have to-
Again, peer pressure and is susceptible. Anyway.
I mean, if you think about it this way, we haven't done anything for anyone else before. Why start now?
Pretty much.
We're halfway finished. This is the prime time to leave.
Alright.
I mean, I hate to say it, but he's got a point.
You've never completed a job,
we haven't
why?
killed the butler yet, so Henna can't leave.
Fair. Henna hasn't completed her main goal of coming here in the first place, to kill a butler.
That's the whole reason she came here.
Yeah, that's the whole reason she joined you guys.
Oh my god.
You're all free to move your tokens about as you like, wherever you want to go, or at least tell me where you want to go.
God. Can I cast a fucking identify on that thing I picked up in the Feywilds now?
Which thing? I don't remember. Shit has happened. All of you make it hard to remember what happened last week, let alone months ago.
I know, that's why I'm like, I have this written down. I was telling them that I have, like, so it was like a portrait or it was like a thing that I was able to snag while we were headed down with the spiders.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it wasn't a book, but it was like a portrait or something like written down or drawn or like a piece of something. It was never like fully explained, but I think the best description is like a portrait maybe or like
Okay.
a painting of something.
Alright, let me quickly check through my notes. While that's happening, what does everybody else want to do? Or like, Kenna, you said you're just practicing for your set in the room, while Leah's looking over this portrait painting thing. After your incident with the hawk, Orin and Bora, what are you two doing?
I don't
We'll
know.
be right back.
Yeah, Orin decides to just stay in the room just for a wee bit while Leah is looking at the portrait and Henna is practicing her set with as much spite in her loot as possible.
Spite in the notes, but not in the words, because I said I would behave.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cora is just going to be sitting on the bed or the chair near the desk, just planning silently. Like, she's got her hands clasped in front of her mouth, and she's kind of got a distant look. She's like halfway meditating as she's planning.
Okay, so we have evil plotting, nerd researching about a portrait, spiteful bard trying not to seem spiteful, and Orin staring off into the distance drooling.
Yeah.
He's thinking about his ma's meat pie right now.
At some point, I'm just gonna like sit down my loot and go, I don't even like that guy. Just like randomly.
Sorry, what did you say?
I don't even like that guy. Talking about Kyler.
Yeah, no. But yeah, out of nowhere, Bora and Leah, just while you guys are doing your things, Henna just...
Leah's gonna catch on to exactly what she means. She's gonna like glance like super quickly, like neck flip, like whiplash, look and be like same, and then look back down and continue.
I don't even like that guy, but I accused a woman of being racist for him.
Yeah. Which is why I said it.
Okay, so, Leah, the portrait you have, you cast Identify with it, correct?
Yes.
Alright, as the ritual, I assume, so 11 minutes, unless you want to use a spell slot to make it 1 minute.
Yeah, no, I'll do it as a ritual.
Alright, so as a ritual, as you're doing it, eventually you learn that this sort of torn portrait depicts a story of the witches of the Feywild. The Good Witch of the North, the Wicked Witch of the West,
Oh my god.
the Evil Witch of the East, and the Good Witch of the South.
So this is the player speaking. It basically tells the story of the Wizard of Oz, but like set in the Feywild.
No, it just speaks on the story of 4 witches and their... It doesn't speak on it, but like it depicts the story of 4 witches and their impact on the Feywild, and about their respective courts that they control and watch over, and with either iron fists or generosity of saints, so on and so forth. The Witch of the North controlling the Court of Summer and all of its inhabitants. The one who is seen as the brightest and purest of all the witches. The Witch of the East, who controls the Court of Night, the one who seems to control wind and darkness itself and seems to be the most vile. The the Evil Witch of the East, who controls the realm of frost and atrophy. Not quite as evil as the Witch of the West, but still vile in her own right. Showing depictions of those who have and who've entered her domain, freezing to death and starving. And finally, the Witch of the South. The Good Witch of the South. It speaks of her great compassion and kindness, the one who saves weary travelers from certain doom and grants them wishes should they prove themselves to be of righteous. To be of moral righteousness. Basically, the
Right.
sort of classic fairy godmother kind of thing.
Leah's gonna transfer all that information into her notebook and then just be like, oh, okay. Just put it back.
Alright. As it amounted to nothing but lore, the worst kind of item.
Well, Leah liked it. She
I
just
know.
is like, I don't have any use for this right now.
She learned more about the Feywild. But is that a boon or a bane?
It means we get to go there more.
Yeah, it means
Yay.
you get to go there even more. Clearly, that's what you want. But yeah, so
Use a refill on Blosnan, so that's good.
alright, so that's what you get. Henna, you know what?
Can I do it? Wait, pause 1 second, Rude. Can I do a fucking investigation check to see if any of the colors on this are blossom?
Roll me perception or investigation, your choice.
I have a +5 to investigations. I'm gonna do that. That's a 16.
You look at all the colors in fine detail, feel them out, match their wavelength, but you don't know if it's Blosnin.
'Cause they're
Only
definitely-
only one woman and one Enoch knows if it would ever really be Blosnin.
Okay. Can I turn it to Henna and be like, Henna, is anything on here blossom?
Oh,
Henna, roll me an Arcana check.
what?
An Arcana check.
Oh, okay.
Henna, you feel over the page. You feel its mysticism. All of it.
God.
Everything around you, even everything in this room, is Blosnin.
I'm just gonna nod.
All the colors in this room are secretly Blosnin.
I think I'm just gonna go. I think I've spent too much time with Enoch.
Back into?
Henna might be having a stroke, is what you got back into.
I see.
I'm gonna pass out from this session.
Good. Excellent.
Oh my god. Leah's gonna just be like, yeah, probably.
I just realized all the characters with elven parents are just in the same room chilling and plotting. And then Orin's just zoned out, like completely K'd.
Elf Squad.
Yeah, Elf Squad roll out. Is this Blosnin? Everything is Blosnin.
Yeah, my reaction to that is I've just spent too much time with Enoch.
Yeah.
It's like those sheltered, like, engineering kids that go to college and then, like, take acid for the first time, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, seems about right.
I was literally about to crack that same joke.
Yeah, it's really what this is.
That seems hyper specific, but also seems very accurate.
It's inaccurate to what's happening right now. Also,
Then
can
we
I
got
be
the
let out
Nazi
of this
kids scattered
hallway?
everywhere.
Okay.
What help? Yeah, I was gonna say you should have been able to. Oh right, yeah. I was wondering why you didn't go back to the room. I'm like, why were you in the room and just dragged you myself, forgetting that I had the door
I
blocked.
literally just pressed myself against the door, and every time it didn't work, I went, "Oh well."
God forgot that Henna can't use her arms. All right. But yeah, so Henna, roll me a performance check to see how your set's doing while you've been with everybody here in your Blosmin
Not
out
well.
state.
It's not well. It's not looking great.
I mean, you already rolled a nat 1. It can only go up from here. 10. I mean, who needs practice and, like, you know, weeks of preparation, right? You can just create a few songs on the spot. with your masterful skills, and
One of them is
go
going
on.
to be owed to the Great White Dragon, just saying.
I figured. Leah, sorry, not Leah, Bora, you are met again with the familiar, soul-crushing but very catchy tune of "Ode to the Great White Dragon." The thing that got you lost in the forest.
She would completely snap out of her little trance and just be like, Hannah,
Yes.
please do not play that while I am playing bait, okay?
Do you want to get eaten?
You can play it once I leave, once I have Leah and maybe Az following me while they're invisible, but please do not play that while I'm trying to seduce one of these questions.
Alright, my bad.
What did I
Leah turns to
I
her
feel like I
and
missed
goes,
so much.
You guys
that
hear?
part too.
You guys are
Leah's-
here. You guys hear a knocking at the door.
Leah's gonna be like, what the fuck is happening?
I'm so confused.
You guys all seem lost in the middle of the conversation and are all just sort of staring at each other like, "What's happening?" And then hear a knock at the door.
Yeah, Bora's just gonna call over. Who is it?
Oh, it's me.
Come in.
All right, Azazel enters in, but I don't want to drag the token because it's so much lag. And he says, "Ah, okay, so you're all here. All right." And Azazel just sort of shuts the door behind him. What are you all
Right.
doing? It sounded like there was a cat being strangled from down the hall.
Those two were doing things. I was finishing up plans in my head.
All right.
The rage is going to return full force. No words will be said, though, just incredible rage.
All right. So it's actually good that you're all here because I do have some business to say. I have an emergency to deal with, and I'm going to have to part ways with you guys for a while. And I wanted to, I guess, actually speak to each one of you before I did that. Starting with you, Oren.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I could not have been more of a help. And I'm very sorry I'm leaving you alone with all this. And then just puts an arm on your shoulder.
Yeah, me too.
If you have any questions, be free to ask them now, because I do not know what to say.
Is help a question?
No, help is a plea, and Azazel hears no please.
Take me with you?
Unfortunately, I think they'll drag you back.
Enoch the bounty hunter coming for his apprentice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Leo.
Leah's gonna just snap her head, like, yeah, like, what's up?
Nah, give him a hiss. For old time's sake.
Yeah, for all that's sake, just growl at him. But yeah. Azazel says, I am sorry that half of our interactions have been very spotty. And I hope you can be more comfortable with being yourself, with your own desires, and exclude the wills of others around you. Do you have any questions for me? Because I'm pretty sure you have 100, and I really want to get through them as fast as possible. He just sort of laughs a bit, like, lightheartedly, like, I know you have a lot of questions, so ask me now, because I do not know how long again until I see you, if we meet again.
Leah's gonna flip to the Azazel section of her notebook.
You just immediately turn to the exact page, just have it prepared.
Yeah, she has them all. She has it all labeled. Like there's a label section in front of it.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna be like, okay, first of all, where are you going?
I'm going to help a friend who's in dire need of some assistance. You all seem very capable of keeping yourselves alive from what I've experienced with you. Everything else keeping yourselves out of trouble would be icing on the cake, but I don't believe that icing ever exists, so I can leave believing that you will all be alive through either luck or Enoch murdering everything in your path.
I want to say he's saying this as he sees the broken window and bandages covering their
Yes, no,
bodies.
100%. It's literally just they still haven't patched it yet. Like, it's not like you can instantly repair a window, so it's just a little bit of blood, cracked window with a Leah-sized hole in it.
Yeah, and then she's gonna be like, how personal am I allowed to get with this? I know people aren't allowed me to ask personal questions.
Be as personal as you'd like. I will answer any and all that I can. I will just say pass for any ones that I do not want to answer.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Is this person a possible mate?
No. No. If I had to describe it, I would describe it as your relationship with Oren.
Oh, okay. And then she's gonna nod to Oren and be like, of course. And then, okay, she's gonna be like, what exactly is your skill set? As in, what's your class and, level? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That would spoil the fun. You will have to figure that out yourself, Leah, through your travels.
That's not a pass. That's say pass or answer the question.
All right, pass.
Very well. And then she's gonna star that question.
Star on that question. Must ask immediately when seen again.
And then you've said you had interactions with people who are outside of this party that are in Highmore and stuff on various occasions. Who are they?
Okay. Lucas Vraiment, the Turbulent Fire, those people that ended up saving the city. A small collection of homeless people.
Heck.
I've met a lot of people within the city. I don't think you want every single one of them, because a lot of them are also just general civilians. If you're talking about anyone important, that's generally about it. I've had run-ins with some higher-up members of the guard, the Griffin Cavalry, the head of the guards, whatever his name, Brock something.
No, you've said that you've received messages from somebody on multiple occasions during this trip. Who are the person you were receiving messages from? Is it the same person that you're going to help out, or is it another person?
It is the same person that I am going to help out. I've just received a message stating that they need help, and
how are you receiving these messages?
He pulls out of his bag a little stone. This is called a sending stone. They come in pairs. Basically, you can talk to someone 25 words the same way you do a message spell, a cantrip, and you can do it back and forth. Then you have to wait till the next morning.
Leah's fully jotting down more notes in the Azazel section. And then she's going to have a note that says on the bottom, relationship with Bora, ? See Bora for future clarification, because it's not acceptable to ask people about relationship status in public without asking them in private, which is a new addition post the pool.
Alright, so if you want to would you like to know where I'm going before you ask or question or third degree burn me?
Leah's gonna be like, yes, please.
Long story short, I'm going to be in the Graysdale Tangle for a little bit. To Henna's probably very happy surprise.
Brazen Tangle. Hold on, I gotta pull up the fucking map and put my glasses on.
The Forest of Undead.
Oh, okay. Alright. Alright.
Okay.
Literally known as a war zone and hellscape that nobody comes back from.
So this is the last we'll see of Azazel.
Okay.
So you know, I'm just sort of walking
Way
into
out,
certain
don't worry.
death, which will probably make you happy, Hannah. I assume just
Leah's gonna.
yeah.
Yeah, no. Leah's gonna just be like, all right. Do you have a way to avoid death?
Not dying like any other person, like you and you and you and you.
These are awfully. What's the word called? It's like a go-around question, like a go-around answer to the question.
Vague?
Dancing around the question.
Yeah, these are awfully
Obtuse?
like
Obscure?
avoided answers. What?
He said obtuse or obscure. No. I'm not intentionally trying to avoid them. I mean, it's as simple as my way of not dying is basically just avoiding, outrunning anything that tries to kill me, or if I'm stuck and can't outrun it, then basically just trying not to die to it. Worst case scenario, end up with a fight in a fight with it.
Okay.
It's not special. It's just like anybody else who would be traveling on the road.
Oh, where are you from?
That is a complicated answer because where I was born was a barn in a small town up in Gastorovish. Where I'm from is a circus which travels around, so not really a solid location to give you. And where I'm from background-wise, I don't know. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's sufficient for right now. Well, what's the name of the circus? Because I want to jot that.
Okay. I really hope you don't run
Orange
into
is
them.
gonna lean over to whoever's next to him and be like, "Did not expect it to be circus folk."
Leah's the one next to it, right?
Yeah. Azazel
He
says...
just whispers it straight to Azazel.
Clearly. Give me a second. Let me look through the notes. Let me look through my notes of Azazel.
Does anybody have any questions? Because I think I'm running out. Besides the whole like, what's your thing with Bora? Is that ever going to go anywhere?
What are your intentions with Bora? She asks like a doting parent.
Yeah, like that's fully what I'm going to ask next. Like, I've kind of run out of things I want to know about Azazel right now.
You don't have to also ask about things to know about him. You could also just try and grill him for info to suss him out.
Azazel, you know spells, teaching them right now.
Give me your magics. The circus I'm from is called the Midnight Requiem Circus.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not wearing that down.
And anything else you'd like to ask or prod me on?
Did you recognize anyone in this party prior to us introducing ourselves to you?
Yes, I've stalked each of you very thoroughly. In fact, I mastermind every single one of you joining this party through an elaborate series of events.
Leah's gonna get really fucking defensive and pull out her dagger.
Without skipping a beat in complete deadpan voice, Henna is just gonna go, I told you there was something wrong with him.
In fact, he sees you pull out the dagger on him, Leah, and he says, in fact, I mastermind all of you being in this room right now.
Leah's gonna cast.
You're completely unaware of everything that is happening outside of this room. Why do you think I shut the door, Leah?
Leah's gonna cast green flame bane on the weapon.
As you guys see her blade light, her dagger light with green fire.
Yeah, he was obviously being sarcastic.
No, I'm being dead serious.
still
Yeah,
completely
see, this is the
deadpan.
point. You should
And then
actually
just
ask him
go.
if he included Kyler not being in said room.
I'm fucking crying.
And I'm just gonna go, Mia, you can do it. I believe in you.
Leah, didn't you think it was even slightly suspicious that, you know, Henna just happened upon a ring of mushrooms that transported you to the Feywild, that just happened to lead you to a random man named Kyler, that happened to be nearby? In the realm of fairies, you found a mortal.
Leah's gonna be like, "Are you in cahoots with the serial killer?"
What? What serial killer?
Leah's gonna blink. You do not know his true nature, and then attempt to stab him.
You don't know his true nature, therefore I shall kill you to make an attack roll.
What?
Make an attack roll, Leah.
What the fuck is an attack roll?
Roll a d20.
A dagger! Do you not have a dagger in your inventory?
Yeah, I do. So what do I just click on it?
Yeah, just click on your dagger.
Okay. I clicked on it.
It should be in your action.
Yeah, in actions,
My
go...
action?
In actions, it'll say attack, and then it should have, like, a plus something for your attack roll. For the dagger.
Oh, okay.
As long as you have it equipped. You have to have the dagger equipped.
I think I did. Yeah, 20.
Oh, dirty 20. Yeah, he was like, it's like, okay, yes, I did all this, and it's like, it's like, you do not know his true nature, and in that moment of confusion, you just stab him right in the shoulder. Ow! What the fuck?
Yes, this is everything.
By the way, since you cast
my
green,
family.
since you cast green flame blade, you do realize that it jumps over to a different person. It doesn't. I think it does your damage in intelligence modifier for fire. So roll the damage for the dagger and then add like your intelligence modifier to that as fire. But it also jumps to a second person. So who's your second target?
Fuck,
It's either Henna, Leah. It's either Henna, Bora, or Orin.
Oh no.
What are you
Can I do an inanimate object?
Nope. Unfortunately, it does say creature.
Can I do like the
It does
door or some
expressly
shit?
state it has to be a creature.
Yeah.
Fuck.
If it was an animated object, then sure, but no. In this case, it does have to be another creature, so you're gonna have to give third-degree burns to literally one of your friends.
I think that's true. I don't want to set either Orin or Bora on fire. If I set Ta on fire, he'll be fine, right?
Check if he has fire resistance, and check how much hit points he has.
Alright, he has 7 hit points. And where do I find out if he has...
Fire
He has
resistance?
magic resistance.
Cool, no fire resistance. Okay, you could make it tough if you want. But it's basically the equivalent of using a flamethrower on your cat.
Yeah, no, but I was trying to think, like, he's a fucking dragon. Yeah, I don't know. Bora, Orin, which one of you has the more fucking hit points?
Bora.
That's
it.
Bora.
You
Bora was
can
the
literally
dad.
see their hit points and AC.
Orin
Yeah,
has
yeah.
11 hit points.
Oh yeah, then fucking definitely Bora. Sorry, Bora.
Okay, so you see Bora just like, you do not know his true nature, like deadpan, then immediately stabs his Hazel in the shoulder, and while he's screaming, Bora, you see a gout of flame leap up and just hit you right in the chest. And you take, what's your intelligence modifier, Leah, like 3, 4?
My intelligence modifier, what's that?
Under intelligence, what's the number?
What's the plus? It should say plus
I think
something.
the intelligence is a 5.
Oh, +5.
Okay, good. So, Bora, you take 5 points of fire damage. Click on the pink text that says dagger.
Click on the pink text that says dagger.
On roll 20. On roll 20.
Roll 20.
On roll. Okay.
Okay, so Azazel took 3 points of piercing damage and 5 points of fire damage as he took 8, and then the fire hits you, Bora. And Henna, you just watch as she stabs Azazel and then sets Bora on fire.
I'm gonna go, oh shit.
Or you also watch this.
Can I very quickly turn around and like cast prestidigitation, like a small thing of water, and just throw it on fucking
Sure,
Bora and be like, alright, What the fuck do you know about my family?
It soothes slightly for Bora, but it doesn't give him points. And then you turn back to Azazel. What the fuck do you know about my family? Azazel says, all of that was a joke, you dense fuck! Ow! It was supposed to be a joke, and you were falling for it. I didn't expect you to actually stab me and set her on fire.
Things we don't know about. Fucking.
Are you okay, Bora? As he says this, he's gonna use Healing Word to reduce the damage done by Leah.
Be fine. Don't worry.
She's soaking wet.
She has like a grease burn on her chest, and you just threw water on her essentially. Bora, you get 7 hit points back, so you get all the damage back. So you watch as Azazel says this, the burn wound on her chest slowly diminishes and gets sucked inwards until it's like a small dot that disappears.
She's just like,
Leah's gonna just pat the top of his head and be like, yeah, Leah's gonna pat the top of his head and be like, don't joke about shit you don't know about. And then, can I do like a check
Sorry, what?
Can I do a check to see if I rip this dagger out of his shoulder, if it's gonna like cause massive blood loss?
You didn't hit a vital area, so you don't think it'll cause massive blood loss, but you think might cause some more pain. Not necessarily damage, but pain.
Can I take the blade out of your shoulder?
Go for it, as his arm is just limply hanging there.
Okay, I'm gonna rip the dagger right out and then pat him on the head again. Good, this is a good lesson for you. This has taught you something. Don't ask him up to his family.
Why?
I think the lesson here is you don't stab people over a joke! I give you no real reason. Leah, I give you no real reason to think I was doing anything but joking. I didn't have a hostage. I didn't murder anyone.
When you threaten somebody, you always have to have a hostage?
I didn't even threaten you. All I said was I'm a bad guy as a joke.
You stalked me. You said you stalked me.
Again, you asked me such a question that obviously the answer to is no. No, I don't. No, didn't know anybody previously before I met you all here.
Enoch is hurt.
All right. Any other questions that won't lead to my eventual stabbing?
You didn't answer the original question. You joked, and then I stabbed you. Answer the original question.
No, I do not. I have not ever heard of, met, or known about any of you before I met you when I met you.
Good. I don't know. Anybody have any questions?
Everything over the last 3 minutes was a joke and a lie. How happy?
Yes.
God, you are more deft with a blade than I was expecting. Why do you know how to stab like that?
Ask him if he misses obsidian yet.
Yeah.
No.
Real question is, Leah, how do you know how to handle a knife like that?
I am asking the questions here.
Roll an intimidation check. At advantage.
Yeah, the 15.
This went from a heartfelt goodbye to an interrogation.
Pretty much. You guys just watch as like
At this point, this laughter is in character.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I assume that the laughter is what's called? You guys watch as Leah gets into a very deep intensity that even you weren't expecting, Hannah, and just says, "I'm asking the questions here," and Hazel just frozen, like, okay. You see him every once in a while look towards the dagger, like, start preparing.
I'm gonna turn to Aura and be like, no cops. And I just turn back to Aura.
No cops? No guards? What do you mean? Am I about to be executed?
Oh.
I feel like I'm actually the hostage here.
Who said you could leave?
Oh my god.
Weevil, I think it's just best if you leave now. I don't think it'll get any easier from here.
No,
Orin's just gonna look at Azazel with like pleading in his eyes. Take me with you.
He looks to you and he says, "At least you're not the one being stabbed regularly." Okay, any other questions, Leah? Please ask
That's
them away.
because we have Azazel here.
Yeah, I fucking was.
I mean,
Next
if someone
up,
else wants to be stabbed, we can make that happen.
yeah, Azazel looks to you, Leah, and like you're just looking down at you a little bit, and says, "Okay, any other questions or any other information you'd like to know?"
Is there any other information that I should know?
I like lemonade. Like, what do you want from me? I thought you were going to be asking some weird, intense questions, and you did, and then now you're stopping after stabbing me. I don't know what that means.
Does anybody have any questions? Because a lot of it is truly fucking lost. Oh, have you been on a campaign like this before? And if so, what is the best, like, how should we go about working, like...
We're going from stabbing him to asking his advice.
Pretty much, yeah. Shank.
What
How do you...
Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have gone adventuring before. And what was the second part of that question? I think I'm a little lost in the numbing sensation in my arm.
Leah's gonna look kind of proud of herself. Well, what advice do you have for us to be like safest and like receive the most benefits from this whole thing?
The answer is no to both. There is no safe way about doing any of this, and there are no benefits. Are you kidding? You're constantly risking your life for basically not enough that you're risking your life. You constantly get blindsided by random creatures, people who betray you, or individuals that you've never heard of. There are random stories that you've never heard of in your life before that turn out to be some weird-ass prophecy.
Leah's gonna be like, are you not happy with your life?
You run the risk of being
What's
stabbed
wrong,
in the dick by
Azazel?
people
Please
you're
tell
helping.
us.
He looks to you with a very deep intensity, Lee, and he says, 3 years ago, everybody that I cared about disappeared. In literally one night. On a skyship after we fought 2 dragons.
Sounds like a party.
Leah's frantically writing. Like, she's like, give me more information. Who are the people?
That will not be disclosed, but one of them I will say is an important figure that is currently out and about within the kingdom.
Is that person sane?
The thing is, I'm used to this. I'm used to this level of crazy because you have to be crazy to be in this line of work. There is no if, ands, or buts about it. You're being dragged to places, you're doing dangerous, life-threatening stuff, and no amount of money in the world is ever really going to be worth that. The only time it's ever worth it is if you're saving someone you care about, or if you're a bleeding heart, then if you're saving the innocent. The best advice I could give you is try and enjoy yourself as much as you can whenever you're not risking your life.
Alright, guys, we've heard it from Azazel first here. We need to throw morals out the windows and go only for our own enjoyment.
Isn't that what you guys have already been doing?
Great time right now.
You've already been doing that.
People destroying businesses and taking their profits, it all sounds fair game.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be the good guys here.
Yeah.
Not according to Azazel.
What is an objective thing?
I feel like in a world where there's a literal compass of good to evil, being on the good spectrum is not
Yeah.
too subjective.
Yeah. Azazel continues.
what's good for the spider is bad for the fly.
Yeah, fair. Well, Azazel continues and says, and I would say just try avoid being anyone that can do anything divine. People tend to seek that out, like, you know, flies to honey. Or bees to honey, whatever the fuck the saying is.
I guess that means we need to avoid Leah.
And then, Leah's gonna be like, do you have anything you want to give us, like, in order to help us?
I gave you advice, I gave you my blood, and I've given you jokes. I think I've given enough.
Like, is that a thing? Like, can I have your blood? Like, if I get a vial, can I, like, put some blood in it?
He looks to you with
God,
your
he wants to
earnest
make a
eyes.
phylactery.
He looks to you with your earnest eyes. Roll a persuasion check, Leah. Convince him to give you a vial of his blood.
Why persuade?
nat
Just stab
20.
him again and take it.
Yeah. 14. Only if you promise to use it for the most horrendous experiment you can possibly think of.
Okay, I can just give it to Enoch.
No, please don't. No. That was a joke, please. Why do I joke with you? I'm trying to be your friend and have a laugh, but you take things too literally.
Walk along the road.
He's gonna turn to him and be like, I don't understand about joking. Please stop joking. We know I don't get it.
You have to
All I'm
experience
saying right here is
it.
you just can't-
Okay.
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 Blood.
Leah, you're going to have to experience humor more to understand it. The more you experience it, the more you'll understand.
Can I have your blood?
Yes, you can have my blood. As he just sort of like holds out his wound again, just saying, do you happen to have an empty vial so you can take like a bit of it and then I can not give you more of my body?
I have like, I'm pretty sure I have like empty ink jars. Can I use one of those?
Sure. You have an ink jar's worth of blood as you now write letters in Azazel's blood.
Here, I thought we were going to give it to Enoch for
You've
a
given
new
Enoch you've given Enoch inspiration on how he can get more ink.
He just drains the blood of everybody that you meet. Yeah.
Wait, what happened to my inkwell that used to be full of Enoch? Did that burst? Like, what happened with that?
No, he just sort of slithered out of it. You still have the inkwell.
Okay, so I have a buttery inkwell for whenever probably Orin turns into it, and then I have
a buttery inkwell
and then I
a
have a
bloody inkwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a bunch of regular ones.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of regular ones.
It's all good.
Is that it?
Yeah. I think that's that.
Alright.
Yeah.
So the heartfelt goodbye is over.
Oh yes, just pat him on the head. Oh, can I have
He's only
Todd
got-
come
he's-
out and like give him a little kiss?
Sure, you just have Ta, like, begrudgingly lick him across the face, then come back to curl around asleep on your shoulder.
I want Todd to lap up some of his blood. Like, not on the actual wound, but I want him to lap up some of the blood that just trickles down.
Sure, he
yeah.
just laps up some of the blood that's on his hand.
Azazel will be back. How could he resist returning to this one?
How could he resist all this?
He's not totally making up all this just to get out of here.
Yeah. And he's just complying with what you're asking for out of fear. He's like, alright. Bora, hopefully this doesn't involve stabbing me at any point.
No promises.
I
Hey.
want you to try and think about things for now. We had that conversation about a potential us, and
This conversation.
I need... And while I would like to explore that as well, I think you need to spend some time thinking about what you want and coming to terms with some certain things, because if we do anything, I don't want to be a mistake. I don't want you to rush into it. Alright?
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to ask me? Is there anything you'd
Like,
like
so he's gonna
to?
turn to Orin and be like, should we be in here for this?
I mean, they were in there.
You
when
mean
stabbed
any
them,
more
so-
than you guys should have been in there during like the pool when all this was also talked about?
True.
You guys are not subtle people. So Azil says, is there anything you want to say to me or ask me about?
She's gonna just shrug and say, I'll save all my questions for next time. And just lightly tap his not stabbed shoulder.
It's not tapped, stabbed.
Azazel sort of just takes the stone that he had in his hand the entire time and he just sort of palms it to you. Since I'm going to be gone for a bit, when I'm planning on, I guess, ideally, going back, seeing you guys again, it'd be a lot easier than trying to, track you down from town to town. So you're probably not going to see me for a few months, at least, and you won't hear from me on the other end of the sending stone for a while. For now, my friend is on the other side, and I guess once I get to them, then I'll contact you, okay?
Okay.
And he just sort of offers to give you a hug.
She'll hug him back.
Alright. And last, but certainly not least, the most important of these conversations, Henna. He just sort of crouches down and gets on one knee to be at your level, Henna. And look you in the eye. And then he just sort of like leans in close and says, I am going to do
take a slow deep breath and wipe the tears from how much she'd been laughing.
Yeah. And he gets like right up in front of your face, Hannah, and he says, I've tried to be friend. I've tried to be friendly. But now I'm going to do everything in my mortal power to fuck you. I am going to go from town to town, and I am going to outbard you, and I'm going to put on performances so grand and so great for fucking nothing that they will never remember your name. You pathetic little woman. And then he's just gonna walk out the window hole that Leah created, diving through it, and flipping Henna off.
Wait.
Henna's just gonna, as he's talking, Henna's just gonna slap him on his stab shoulder and go, good talk, and walk out the door.
Make your attack roll.
Diving out the window.
No, Zazel's diving out the window, so he's going the opposite direction, and are you still walking out the door?
Yeah.
Okay, make an attack roll
And
to...
interrupt him, like, mid-word, too.
Okay, make your attack roll at advantage, since I'll count this as a surprise. Unarmed. Alright, you try and slap him on the shoulder, and he just sort of, like, spins around you, and then just sort of, like, taps you on the back of the head. You're not that quick, and he's just gonna dive out the window. See you in hell, short one.
Yell after him in Orin, because she's still trying to learn that. I'd be like, bye, Azazel, see you soon.
Okay. As you all part ways with Azazel in your unique ways.
Burning to death.
All I can picture now is that he's going to realize when the party is thinking of him because his shoulder's going to start to burn.
Yeah.
Leah's going to be flipping her dagger and be like, he took that stab very well.
Actually, no. What's even crazier is that you stabbed him with essentially a 1,000-degree knife. You cauterized the wound as you stabbed him.
Why do that when
That
you could read
one
toast?
Harry Potter Reddit.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Tumblr.
Guys, we found the Slytherin.
Wait, was that the Slytherin one? That's great.
Yeah, you pulled a Slytherin
Leah's-
move out of panic.
It was, imagine stabbing someone with this, Gryffindor. It would cauterize the wound instantly, Ravenclaw. great for interrogating somebody. Slytherin. Why do that when you can make toast?
Yeah.
You totally just toggled all of those one back. Slytherin was the interrogating someone.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Hufflepuff was the. What if you want toast?
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't sound like Slytherin to say who wants toast.
What? I said Hufflepuff
Yeah, no,
was...
he did say. He did
No,
say
you
that.
did
Oh, did?
right.
Okay, then I think I just somehow me and Warlock both misheard it. But yeah, you guys
No, he
all.
said Slytherin making toast.
No,
Mm.
I was
Oh,
saying...
Well, it doesn't matter.
afterwards.
We're off on that tangent. It doesn't matter. It's really not important. Either way, Azazel dives out the window, flipping off Henna, and you guys part ways as Henna mentions the thing about letting him burn to death.
Azazel.
Tell me he didn't come say goodbye to Enoch.
You're telling me you didn't say bye to Enoch, Sir Dilf, and Kyler? Wow, it's crazy.
But Enoch had a present for him. I'm going away.
I
How
don't think
could he
he was.
not go away without a blessing?
Oh no.
Enoch will chase after that blessing.
He's gonna chase him down. You will get this blessing, Azazel.
Azazel just hears another window crash behind him, and there's just Enoch staring
Enoch is just hunting him down like Slenderman. But yeah, so Azazel left the room, and I guess Henna, you're also leaving the room.
Yeah, I want to go do my performance now. I think it's been long enough.
All right, Enoch. As you are hawking your wares and whatnot, you see the queen enter with a very pleased look on her face. Whether that's true or not is a very different thing.
Oh, welcome back, my lady. It appears you had a quite nice time here at the spa.
Oh, it's been great.
It's been
That's great to
peachy.
hear. I made a little bit of scratch sitting here. Managed to sell a few portraits, make a few friends, you know, the good stuff.
The portraits? What about my scrapbook?
Oh, don't you worry. All this new money, I'll be able to get even better pigments. Make even grander tapestries of your visage across the land.
All right, I'll accept that.
Weirdly enough, Henna,
Yes.
just as you start performing and you're about to start the first note, you hear Azazel's voice in your head. You're not as great as you think you are, and you never will be. You will forever be in my shadow.
I don't think I've ever hated anyone this much in my life.
And then you also hear Enoch's voice. Oh, you're the best. Don't pay attention to him.
Oh, this is not fun.
Oh
That's
god.
amazing.
Henna, roll performance.
Kyler's voice.
Henna, roll performance. You can choose whether it's disadvantage with everything that she's... Oh my god. And Azazel successfully psyched you out.
I hated it more than this.
He's
Genuinely.
never gonna have a good performance.
Oh my god, that's amazing. What about the three of you who are in the room? Are you going to go watch Henna's performance? Leah, Bora, and Oren, are you going to go watch her performance? Hello? Woe is me. When you're watching this recording, I'm glad that Hazel just verbally backhanded and into failure. That's truly, truly a perfect indication of their relationship. Destiny, as I walk through the moonlight, as I burn through the midnight. Yeah, I'm sorry, my singing voice is terrible. Just keeping sound going as all this happens. Oh. That was Leonard. Going again and again and again and again.
Hear us
Can you
now.
hear
I'm
us
back.
now?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I'm back. It was a connection issue with my Wi-Fi.
Great.
I'm still connecting to Roll20, but I was trying to ask if Bora, Leah, and Oren were gonna go to Henna's performance.
No. Once Henna left the room, Bora was going to start explaining her plan.
I guess Leo listened to that, but then I want to see if can I take a long rest right now since I only need 4 hours.
You need 4 hours of trancing, and you haven't been trancing for 4 hours.
Yeah, I know. Can I do that like now?
You want to start? You can start it, yeah, if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Okay. You start trancing as Bora's explaining her plan, and it's out in one ear, out the other with Leah. Bora, you are explaining your intricate, important plan to both Leah and Oren. What about Oren? Is he still in the room doing something else? What?
He's gonna stick around to hear the plan.
Sure. Yeah. Continue with explaining your plan, Bora.
She basically starts with, okay, so I already have information on one of the witches. So she also seemed somewhat interested in at least my appearance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get her to bring me to wherever they paint. I do have things I can do to distract her, but while Henna is keeping everyone else distracted here, I was hoping that you could sneak behind me and try to find a portrait while I'm keeping her busy.
No response from Leo.
And
Leah.
and I did, send that message to my monastery, so hopefully they get it and they get here quickly, because I don't know how well this is going to.
I'll say that Enoch is dancing to Henna's song.
Sure. Yeah. Anybody who would have been here to listen to the performance basically would have seen Henna like about to play her lute, freeze for a moment, and then just like playing her lute very violently and and furiously, and like just being like, ha ha ha, what's the great white dragon? Da, 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 da. like a very hyper-aggressive, non-paying attention as she's just imagining every possible war crime she would inflict on Azazel under the sun.
Enoch is doing the Pennywise dance just as intensely.
Yeah, Henna, you don't notice it, but the people are just booing and saying you're fucking terrible. Like two halflings and like the dwarf and the gnome are here, just like boo. Your music is trash.
Enoch will grow out his legs to maximum length and stare down the booers.
Roll an intimidation check.
There towards the queen, my friends.
Roll an intimidation check at advantage, you sick, depraved man.
Intimidation. Advantage, I don't know.
God. Oh. I would imagine that like Enoch goes into like Sonic EXE mode, where his eyes are just like pure red, and his voice gets like unnaturally like statically deeper, and he's just like, "You best not say that again." And then it's just like, what the fuck? And Hannah just isn't noticing this, just playing like just in her own mind, doing something else. She's not even paying attention to it. Yeah. And with his extended legs, which are reaching to, like, either end of the room. It's like, slouch over, like, bend his spine at a near, like, 90-degree angle just so he could do the Pennywise dance. Oh, man. God, I love it because that natural one is basically sums up Hazel and Henna's relationship.
It really does. It's perfect. He's gonna die at some point.
Oh, but the real...
There's a list in Henna's head.
No, there absolutely is.
Fucking die.
No, there absolutely is. The real question is if he ranks higher or lower than the butler at this point.
He's lower than the butler just because he's less accessible at the moment.
He's less accessible.
He's gonna be able to take her anger out on the butler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
His ace instead.
The butler's getting twice the amount of rage.
Yes, because he's there.
Alright, but yeah, Enoch, you even see the butler just sort of watching, and he's also part of the hecklers, but he doesn't seem fazed by your extended legs. Or at least he's not, like, he seems fazed, but he just doesn't seem, like, terrified of you like the others are. And he's just sort of, like, just shaking his head in disapproval.
Do I see this?
Roll a perception check at disadvantage, mainly because, like I said, you are focused on everything else. Mostly just murdering Zazel. 16, I will say that it's enough. While you're just sort of playing loot, you notice one of the people on your list, the butler. He's just shaking and he has like this sour look on his face like, yeah, this is terrible. And you're just playing and then your fantasies start going from murdering Azazel to murdering him.
I want to make dead eye contact with him. As he's heckling me and I'm playing so aggressively. I'm going to make dead eye contact.
Sure, you just make dead eye contact while you're, like, intensely playing the loot, sort of like the gif I put in, like, the other day where it's just, like, bard sexual.
Aggressively bard sexual.
Yeah, aggressively bard sexual. And, are you trying to intimidate him? Just, like, power play this? Big dick energy him? What?
Sure. Yes, I'll go for intimidate. Why not?
Sure, roll me an intimidation check. Okay. You intimidate him by just staring him down.
He doesn't know what's wrong, but something in his bones.
Give me a second. Something in his bones turn to butter. I mean, at least he's not one of the people on, Henna's hit list.
Yeah.
No, he is. No, what I meant is that at least he's not one of the people that Enoch sentenced to death. That's what I was trying to say.
Their time is very closely coming, depending on what time of day it is.
Fair enough.
I think it should be getting to be about evening now.
Henna, as you're staring down the butler, he just sort of looks at you with an amused smirk, but just stares into you. And he locks into your gaze, and you're trying to intimidate him, but it doesn't seem to be working. And at this point, you want to look away, but roll a wisdom save. Or a wisdom check, wisdom check. You want to look away, and you see him. He's staring at you. But not just at you. As he's looking at you, it looks like he's dissecting you. Looks like he's looking into your soul, and he's looking for something before you pull your gaze away. Roll a quick perception check. You swear for the briefest of moments his eyes turned orange with a black cloven iris.
Ooh.
Oh.
Before you looked away and you're back to playing as you're definitely not afraid, but you're a little unnerved, and it's not helping to all these haters keeping you down.
Okay.
But yeah, you just continue your performance. I assume, unless you want to do... Great. Wow. Siri kicked me out, and I got the boot. The big old boot. So, as I was saying, what would you like to do, Henna? Siri took that as, oh, would you like me to restart Discord?
Oh. You're just having issues tonight.
Yeah, today's been a fun technical issue day. But yeah, I was saying you continue your performance, Henna, unless you want to do something else, or unless you want to change up your plan with everything that's been going on. Because clearly you have an ignorant audience of someone of your caliber. They just don't appreciate the fine art.
Enoch understands.
Yeah, Enoch understands, but the rest of the Philistines don't.
They simply can't hear the soothing sound of Blossom.
Mm-hmm. Only Enoch knows the true worth of her music due to his connection to Blosnin.
Jesus Christ.
I think I'm gonna finish up like this set, but I'm gonna try and wrap it up a little faster than I would because I need to go tell people about what I just witnessed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, they didn't say you have to do it for a certain amount of time, but yeah, you just sort of end it 3 songs early, and you get sort of half-hearted claps from the audience, but they're also sort of warily looking at Enoch. The butler is gone by this point, and he went somewhere else. And yeah, you finish your set. Henna is these are just the ignorant masses. They aren't quite understanding of your true talent. So you head over.
They aren't cultured.
Yeah, they're uncultured, and it's not completely their fault, but it is also their fault. So I assume you head over back to the room.
Yes.
All right. Bora, as you're continuing with your explanation of the plan, Henna barges into the door with a clear look of disgust, anger, and annoyance on her face.
Enoch will follow this time around.
All right. Enoch is also there, and he seems to just be rubbing her shoulders or something. I don't know. something Enoch would do as, like, her groupie.
Sure.
What happened?
It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. More concerning, there's something up with that butler.
How so?
His eyes did a thing. Like, I locked eyes with him while I was performing, and his eyes went orange with, like, a clover pupil. It was,
Cloven, like, sort of like a cat's eye.
yeah, like cat's eye. Okay. So it was, concerning.
Plot twist, he knew you weren't a statue, still insulted you anyway.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Even
I
bigger.
guess I can let you in on what's going on. Basically, I'll explain to her what my plan is, but she'll continue and say, since you've already finished your performance, then I guess you can help the others, help Orin. I don't know. I think Leah went into a trance. So you can help with making sure either nothing too bad happens to me or that we find the painting and destroy it.
Oh, you want to know where some paintings are? They have an ice painting room up in the other building. A little bit
seen
too light for my hand, but it can do in a pinch.
Wait,
Other building?
where?
Oh yeah, the nice lady took me up to the big circular building up on the hill to do my portrait. She couldn't find the inspiration, so she let me paint her. I couldn't find the inspiration either. It was a bit of a mess, but she's a nice lady.
She's going to just nod and say, then you will actually be coming with me. For once. And she's gonna pat his head, look at Hannah and say, because he listens to you better than me, if you wouldn't mind staying close to him.
No problem.
No, I don't. I don't know how fast my letter will get to my monastery. It could be days before they come, but we need to do this as quickly as possible.
We walk outside and see an eagle in a tree with a letter in its mouth asleep.
We should probably wait for Leah to be done trancing before we do anything, but after that, we should go.
Yeah. She'll be our best bet to staying stealthy. She can go invisible, so
Mhm.
she can just follow directly behind me when I'm with one of the witches. I guess the rest of you would just have to keep notice of where we go, and if you get lost, ask Enoch with
Right, Jenkins.
What?
Leroy Jenkins.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
But he said it so badly that his mic cut him out.
Yeah, I didn't even understand what he said, which is what confused me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I tried to do the
Leroy
actual line thing that
Jenkins.
he did,
Yeah.
but apparently my mic decided it hates me.
Mm-hmm. So,
Oh, wheel.
so, Leah continues to trance. What would the other three of you like to do?
Laura's going to sit down and just mentally prepare herself, since Sylvari warned that that woman is actually fairly abusive.
Okay.
Orange just gonna sit and hang out, I guess.
Sure, you start
I
sitting
ain't
down
got a whole
there,
lot of
but-
choices.
Yeah, there's
Yeah. I mean, you're brought a book, Kyler. Let me see from the book selection. You're given a book called The Green Flame of Lust.
Giggity.
Good giggity.
So Enoch does like a charcoal kind of drawing in that time.
Sure.
And it's beautiful. Cracking open the heavens, raining down things.
Okay, roll me a painting check. Oh?
Ooh.
I don't have it. I'm out of things to add or subtract to it, unfortunately.
I mean, if Henna wants to use a bardic inspiration,
Yes.
or anybody else wants to use an inspiration that they might have.
Have a bardic inspiration.
Alright, that's a D6.
Mm-hmm.
That brings it down to a 7.
7?
Or a 7, yeah.
I mean, Leah may or might not have a 5 available. That'll subtract 5.
Oh, I can still give that out?
Yeah.
I mean, you
haven't
slept. You haven't completed your long rest.
Yeah, fucking take it. Go for it.
And thus, it is
And
a
that
0.
drops that to a 1.
Nope. He rolled a 5. She rolled a 5 as well. That means that drops it to a 0.
What happens
From
at
12?
a 0?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm not full
No,
on it.
Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, you have a 7.
These
Yeah.
two.
You have a 7 for your roll. Subtract 5, so that's a 2. Anybody have an inspiration that they want to give or no?
Really want to turn this into a nightmare?
Your choice. I mean,
Yeah.
like if somebody does have one and just says no, then it won't turn into a nightmare. But if they say yes, then it could.
I mean, Enoch,
Unfortunately,
I could bless
I don't.
myself. Can I bless myself mid-painting?
I
Do
mean,
it.
you knowing Enoch, he would have blessed himself beforehand. You know this. Like I'm fine with that.
Okay, we're gonna go that route. First, I've got to roll my wild magic because I did a Tides of Chaos.
You did. You did. So roll your wild magic and see what happens. Everybody in the room dies.
Very possibly.
Patrick is the only one safe because he's not in the room with y'all.
6146. What is the result?
I don't like this.
You're in the room with him.
I have this pit in my stomach, and I'm just like, this is gonna go terribly.
It's gonna go fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
Tell the result, and maybe I'll have to DM rule this or something.
You do.
This is not exactly great for the play-by-play, but the target
You
is
do.
now standing atop the tallest mountain within 100 miles.
Oh! Well, looks like Enoch's out of the party.
Looks like Enoch gets to meet the monks first.
So, here's what happens. First roll the d4.
Please tell me I create an eldritch horror of a situation and then just blip out. Fuck, where's the page? There it is. D4.
Yeah, that's a 0.
That is a 0. And this is what happens. Thank you for setting up next week's Halloween episode, Magnus.
Probably fitting because I don't know that I'd be able to actually be here for next week.
So here's what happens. As Enoch is painting with the charcoal, and you're all relaxing in the room together, taking in the slightly metallic scent of blood having been spilt in the room twice. Henna, you're being drawn by one of the few people in this world who truly understand your magnificence. Orin, you just sort of watch from the sidelines, just keeping an eye on every once in a while. Bora, you go into a meditation to prepare yourself mentally. And then you feel, all of you who are arcanely inclined, feel a slight ripple within the weave around you. Sort of like being on the surface of a pool and somebody jumps in after cannonballing. There's a slight wave and it unsettles you for a moment. And you watch as light pours in from the window, a very bright light. It gets brighter and brighter and brighter.
I'm not imagining this, right?
That does look like it's actually there.
Okay.
And it gets so bright that none of you can see at this point.
Alright,
Ow.
close his eyes so it doesn't go blind.
Same.
Cover his eyes if necessary.
And after the flash wears off of light, you see debris around you as there's a singular beam of light upon Henna, who has her arms raised up in a sort of protecting her eyes way, but also gives this very biblical artistry to it, an almost David touching God way.
Uh-huh.
And where it was once middle of the day, it's gotten dark. Unerringly dark, except for that one bright light and that one patch of brightness on Henna, because she is the light. And you notice Enoch is no longer here. And when you check on him briefly where he was, Henna, you see nothing on the page. There is no drawing. There is no charcoal. And then you all hear, in a vibrato, bassy voice that comes in stereo from all directions, but definitely above you, above the building. Sorry, give me a sec. I'm a bit busy right now.
God.
I'm a bit busy right now. Let me finish it. Sorry. As I was saying, and you hear a voice all around you, bassy and booming, say in a language most of you don't understand, except for Leah and Kyler and anyone else who knows Celestial.
You're almost sorry.
Everyone except me, right?
Well, I mean, Orin and sorry, Orin knows it, I think, but Bora doesn't. At least you're not completely alone, Henna. You hear a voice echo out all around you. The queen deems you queenie. Queen deems you unfit for her presence. You shall all suffer her holy judgment. For your sins and transgressions you may all burn. What sounds like a tornado hits, but you don't feel anything, and the roof of the building is ripped off as in the sky. You see something that I can only describe as a mound of writhing flesh and wings and eyes in a very original biblical angel sense is in the sky. And we grace you, grace. You are queen. With the deaths of all mortals here. as that's where we'll end the session.
Is
There you
that
go.
these?
Henna, you saw all of that. You don't understand any of it unless somebody wants to explain, like, unless we say Leah wants to word by word translate as they're saying what they're saying.
Well, is Leah still unconscious? Or did she wake up like mid?
Oh, this woke you the fuck up. No, it's not like you're completely out of it, and even then, this would have woken you up.
Oh, well then Leah definitely would have been translated because she knows that because she's gotten yelled at by Hannah multiple times before that she doesn't understand, so she would have been translated.
So yeah, you would have been given on-the-spot translation, Bora and Henna, as you still have that light on you, Henna.
Concern.
Confusion?
By the way, for as long as that light is on you, you are under the effects of the Bless spell.
Oh, nice.
And the Guidance spell.
Wait,
That's a D8 or 2D4 technically.
Yeah, a D4 for her attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws.
nice. Wait, does the thing recognize me?
It was staring directly at you with its many eyes, Henna, and was saying, in the language you didn't understand, but Henna translated all of it as, we are in reverence of you, our divine queen, and we shall slay all the mortals here in your name.
Wait, is this towards Hannah or is this towards Leah?
Towards Henna.
I think okay, that's what I
She
thought.
can't even
You had it
understand
backwards
it.
there for a
No,
second.
Henna, Leah's just translating, but they're speaking to Henna.
That's what I was thinking.
This is gonna be an interesting next session.
Yup, the Halloween session. Fight a biblical angel.
Here's what I love. The
I
fact
was-
that Azazel's probably just a few miles out, just like wondering to himself what trouble the party will get into next, as the sky behind him physically cracks.
Yeah, like literally splits open, and this tentacled winged monstrosity crawls out with a booming voice, and the sky goes dark from like thunder clouds, and then he just like, well, they got themselves into this one. Let them get themselves out.
How?
Orange should have ran with the Zizzle when he had the chance. He shouldn't have asked him. He should have just ran.
These fucking witches.
Was
I
that
know
an
they're
option? Is running an option right now?
I mean, running is always an option. You can always run away.
That's the coward's way out.
That's the survivor's way out.
It's the survivor's way, yeah.
I don't know. Giant ray of light shooting you in the back doesn't sound like a good way to go.
We're also gonna have to discuss how Enoch eventually comes back, maybe.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. This is one of those moments where, like, I'm willing to say he has some kind of like nth degree level bloodhound sense of tracking down the party, but it might take like, you know, a few days to weeks in game. So might be a situation where if you show up for next session, you might have to come in with a temporary character, or if you show up afterwards, it might be one of those things where after all this is said and done, you're bringing a temporary character.
Yeah, I'll think of something to bring in while Enoch finds his way back.
You
I also
set me. Oh my god! You just set me up perfectly. It's just like, oh look, I'm going to draw Henna as this divine figure. Oh look, her holding to him. I'm like, oh no, this is not gonna end well for the party.
Oh my god.
Hey, everyone had a hand in this, so I don't feel bad about it.
Technically,
Not
only
everyone.
But you gave me that 5 anyways.
Leah was fully unconscious.
It was a team effort to get that result.
Kyla
Yep.
was in a completely different room and couldn't do anything to help you anyway.
Yeah.
What exactly was the wording of it? I want to know.
What is?
Wording of it?
The painting?
Oh, I misunderstood. Never mind.
It's not like you used like the cleric summon divinity thing where they just ask a god for a favor. This was just Enoch being Enoch, like normal.
Yeah.
He's confirmed killed 3 people, and then he brings an eldritch angel into existence in the name of his queen.
You wanna know what's
You know-
super fucking alarming? Did anybody else have Rune like message them, be like, "Hey, what god did your character believe in?" Now I'm
Yes.
scared.
Oh,
Yes.
actually, that had
Yes.
nothing. Oh, you do understand that had nothing to do with this. I don't ever predict what Magnus does with Enoch. That was just a happy coincidence.
I think I have to explain that spawned from me.
Oh yeah. That started with Zane, and then I just sort of asked all of you or a few of you.
Yeah.
Now, see, I really, really want to know what's going to happen if we ever actually get to meet Kyler's family.
Enoch's gonna be an old family friend. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Probably.
But yeah, just the god thing, that was me.
Mhm.
So if you're worried, blame me.
Blaming
I kind of
me.
love that Enoch just did this and pieced out. of it.
Yeah, that was like the best thing he
Yeah.
could have done. Is like, oh my god, you might not even show up next week, so you literally just like threw a grenade into the party, like fade-deuced out like the GIF, and then just disappeared. I'm like, that is legendary in and of itself.
I think the context of my letter being sent to the monks now is even funnier because it's just like all of a sudden the sky goes dark and then this hawk shows up with a letter from Bora saying, "We need help now."
Yeah, the hawk shows up 3 days later.
Imagine Enoch is like already at the temple. Like that was the highest peak. He's already there telling him about Bora or something, and then the hawk arrives. It doesn't matter. I have completed the goal I had for Enoch on this quest, which was to basically complete the quest without ever knowing there was a quest.
Yeah, he really did. You really did complete your own objective of complete the quest without doing anything. There are witches, and now there's an eldritch angel overlooking all of you, who seems to be revering Henna.
There's likely going to be at least some of the like enemy deaths in this place who were supposed to be our enemies.
Yeah, I
Just
was gonna say, at
based
this
on
point,
Enoch.
you guys either have to decide that
Business.
everything that moves is your enemy, or you might have to ally with some some people that you might not want to, or might not normally would.
I mean, maybe she can just tell the thing to be like, "No thanks, you can go by."
But
You
would
really
Hannah
think
do
that's
that?
gonna work?
Hannah would never say that.
Yeah, you're right.
She might ask it to be discretionary at first.
At first.
Just be like, "Hey, don't kill my friends."
Look,
Then again-
y'all better really hope that Hannah likes you as much as you think she does. Just
Yeah,
saying.
Then again, Azazel might want to be running.
Oh, Azazel, you don't.
He
Azazel
has
is
any amount of control over that.
okay.
thing.
So to let you know how long it's been
If
since.
I get control, 2 people are dying immediately.
No, here's the thing.
Fucking
So
killer.
here's the thing.
Azazel.
So here's the thing. Azazel left like an hour and a half ago, and his base movement speed is like 60. He's pretty far, but maybe not far enough for basically that thing to hunt him down if Fennec figures out how to command it or something. Who knows?
The cult of Hinako has become far more powerful.
The cult of Henoko has
Funny
now
thing.
gained form.
Here's the funny thing: if Bora does go down in that fight, I fully plan for her last action to be using that sending stone. So
Fair.
Azazel doesn't even get to see his friends in peace.
Fair.
Just like, "Oh, you left. I'm dying."
We died.
Yeah. We dying. Bye.
Been nice knowing you.
It's so thematic that I painted like 10 paintings here, and it was only the one of Henna that turned out the best.
Yeah, really. It was thematic. It made sense the same way with Azazel. What's called like that voice in Henna's head of Azazel's voice, just telling her you suck, and then her rolling the down one. It's like, okay, apparently the stars do align sometimes.
You do realize that every time you've drawn henna, it's turned into some sort of abomination.
Oh yeah, it's either been the
that's
Eldritch Mind screwing a thing, or it's actually spawned something.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Oh my god. Like,
How? What?
oh my god. Like, oh.
How?
He's,
This must be.
Well, like I said, I don't know that next week I'll be able to actually make it.
Oh, that's fine. It literally makes sense. Everything sort of just fell into place where it
Yeah.
makes sense narratively why you weren't there. You know, why everything's sort of going on.
Once again, somehow I'm a water genasi, by the way. I don't know why I keep turning into fucking genasi when there's 50
I want
options on this
to
table.
I want to say you're currently Kyler, just for the sake of it. You literally transform into Kyler as you disappear on the top of a mountain with your
Okay,
supplies.
but in that case, in every town I go through, people will probably recognize That's
Oh
a
yeah.
joke.
Oh yeah.
I've Black Magic Surge 10 more times before I reach the party again.
Yeah, that's the accurate
I'm
part.
going to be continually... Enoch would definitely continually use Expeditious Retreat just to get back.
Yeah, Expeditious Retreat, Wild Magic Surge.
The party's just going to see on the horizon a cloud of dust
You
with, like,
you know, I was
lightning
actually
bolt,
what's funny
firebolt occasionally spewing up.
What's funny, I was actually gonna ask if you would have used Bless on anyone else in the party, like, because you had two other people, and I thought you would have done it to, like, Henna and maybe, like, Orin, and if that actually happened, it would have been Henna, Orin, and Enoch all disappeared to the nearest mountaintop within 1,000 miles, while the rest of the party has to deal with that.
So
In
instead
that
of a
case, it
full
was just
PBK,
Enoch is making a painting, so Enoch will just do himself.
Yeah.
oh god.
Well, I guess now I get to come up with whoever my next character is.
Oh,
I'm so glad I've already got mine planned